Hi, Xandrix. Hello, guys. Hello, Mike. Hello, Zoramina, and others who I'm missing. Hi, guys. A lot of familiar faces, as they say. Hello, people. So for today, this might be a bit boring for you guys. But this one guy, let me just get his name real quick. Well, his name is Lamar, okay? He asked me if I would react to a Fresh and Fit podcast because he's like, this is basically the biggest, most important red pill like content that's out there right now. And it's very lame that you haven't like seen even one episode. I'm like, yeah, you're right. So I thought, let me know what you guys think. If you prefer like to just chat or for me to answer questions, we could do that instead. But what I was thinking is that I could just listen with you guys to this Fresh and Fit podcast that he very nicely like found like really good timestamps for me to listen to that summarize their main points. So I was thinking I could just listen with you guys and react. Your thoughts? Comment below. Um, Nanny says I'm with it. Hello, Greg. And Saeed, why do you think Fresh and Fit are so controversial? Well, that's why I need to watch an episode because, as I said, like the only other episode I've seen is like probably 15 minutes with when Andrew Tate was on, like this spring, and I was just like horrified. I'm like, oh god, this is crazy. So I turned it off after that. So yeah, okay, let's give it a shot. Um, hi says I have a app called Fresh and Fit, but they sell healthy food via FedEx. Lol. Yeah. So Tony Maestro says, yeah, listen to one. I think they take it a little too far sometimes. All the women they bring on the show are trash club party girls. Yeah, that was kind of the attitude I didn't like, how they were like putting down these girls for being like, I mean, these girls. Okay. All right, we're ready. All right, let's just do it. So, Daniel says, did you delete your last live stream on the Female Mind? I did, Daniel. Like, I didn't delete it, but I just made it unlisted because my last live, I was getting very heated. And then I kind of felt bad afterwards. I'm like, okay, I really let some people get to me too much. I was trying to make it a bit more entertaining by just like not ignoring them, but then I'm like, I just felt like I was being so negative and angry and lashing out at people the whole time. I'm like, I don't have to put this up here, and I'm not going to. So, all right, let's just listen to this. Mario says, a woman without enemies is not a woman. I like that. I like that. Okay. Mario says, I'm getting popcorn. All right, let's see. And you guys can comment as well, like your thoughts. It could be fun. So, all right, here we go.
They're gonna say right.
Money.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me know if you guys can hear this. And I'll post the link below as well, right? That I'm going to be listening to. So you guys could like watch along. And this guy Lamar, he told me to start at 42 minutes in. So yeah, let's do it. 42:01 is the timestamp. And let me know if you guys can hear it and everything, but yeah, we'll just do this.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
but
about to say,
I
they-
see
you
girls
know what they
like
gonna say, right? They gonna
I see a
shoot your
lot of
ass out.
pretty girls with fuck niggas who don't have no money.
It's about personality.
But you're missing the point here. See how like on both spectrums, the man is accomplishing something to some degree, whether he's extremely good looking but has no money, or he has a lot of money but he's ugly. But regardless, the man has to pass some kind of filter.
He got good dick.
Before he can even get the access to the woman.
That's not a woman's fault that men only think with their dicks and only look at attractive women.
I'm not.
In my opinion.
Here's the thing. You're 100% right. But I don't make the rules. I just report them. Men have very low standards when it comes to who I'm going to have sex with. Women, like, you guys, have all of you guys met a celebrity at some point in your life?
Yeah.
Okay, have all of you guys been invited to exclusive parties, whatever it may be?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, have all of you guys been in a VIP, maybe at a club, would just be getting invited?
Yeah.
Hell, if you guys opened up your Instagrams right now, you probably have a bunch of DMs from people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, congratulations. So that's what it's like to be a woman. You simply just get this for existing. For us, though, we have to work to get that.
Guys get that too, though.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
Not to the same
seen
level whatsoever.
my brother's IGs before, and they be crazy.
Okay, but here's the thing. Men only get that once they achieve something. That's the difference. Like, you get it simply for existing as a woman. As a man, you're not going to get that unless you're somebody.
But with that, we get like men, like weirdos. We get men trying to rape us, men trying to drug us.
Okay, well, I kind of agree with like his first point that he's trying to say. Like he's saying, well, I think he's basically saying like sex is easy for you guys to get. And then like this one girl was like, well, that's easy for men to get too. So I feel like that's pretty like the female blind spot. Like I do see that a lot where women, because they're kind of only noticing these like really, top tier guys for whom sex is easy to get, they kind of apply that to all guys and they don't really understand that like sex isn't easy to get for most guys. So far, so good. Seems like a fair point. He's trying to explain it to them and they're like not necessarily mind expanding for them right now. Yeah, what do you guys think so far? Just feel free to comment your thoughts as well. All right, keep going.
It's like it's
All
not
right,
a good
Twitch.
thing.
What did I tell you?
Whoa. No, of course. Yeah, you're going to. Here's the thing.
right,
I'm not
Twitch.
saying that you're not going to get weirdos and shit.
I need to.
But a positive of it is that you get a bunch of opportunities that a man would never be able to get. Like, yeah, of course, you got to filter out the weirdos and shit. That happens. That's what comes with the territory of free attention. But opportunities that a guy that's your age would never get. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Very
So
fair.
men have to become before they can even get sexual access. Women don't.
But so do what? Yes, we do. If I came in here with my hair looking crazy, like how men be doing, like terrible outfit, if I had on some
Really wouldn't
Walmart clothes,
change,
like
You would
all
still
of
get
that.
attention from
Niggas
men.
would still smash.
You might not
But
get
that's
as
not
much,
my
but you
fault
still.
that men think with their dicks. Like, in my opinion, like
It's not about.
because men see women and be like, oh my god, like I wonder what she has under her clothes.
Yeah.
Da, da, da.
But here's the problem. We're talking
Women
about.
don't think like that.
But here's the thing.
Okay, I don't know if this is a good way to react, but that's kind of interesting because she's saying, oh no, because like we have to look really hot or men don't give us attention. I do feel like that's a common thing that like a lot of women think, where they're just like I see them talking about this on TikTok all the time, like pretty privilege. And they're kind of like, oh, you have to look like super hot for men to give you attention. But like, I don't actually agree with that. It's just a lot of these women don't really know how to get attention because unless they're feeling really hot, they won't like put themselves out there. But as we all know, you don't need to look like super hot to get attention from men, in my opinion. So interesting blind spot, in my opinion. All right.
Talking about what is. You're talking about what should be. I'm
Yeah.
saying what is. Men don't care. So therefore, our prerequisites are low. You guys do care. You have a lot of standards. Since you have a lot of standards, if the guy doesn't fulfill you sexually, there's other ways he can make up for that.
Yeah, you're right, but that doesn't.
But if a woman
make
doesn't
her
fulfill you
not
sexually, hold
relevant.
on. But if a woman doesn't fulfill you sexually as a man, she basically failed her only job.
I know a lot of men who are with women who don't fulfill them sexually. I don't think so.
Really?
I feel like your perspective may be different from mine. Like you've experienced different things. You have more knowledge on different things than I do. You know?
I mean, men don't ask for much from women.
They do though.
Really? Compared to what women want from men?
She means like bums. Because only bums would take shit like that.
We live in a society where it's become that women, like a lot of women have become like their own boss. Like women do a lot for themselves. But before that, it used to be men pay the bills and they do this, they work hard and they do like a lot of things. And women stayed home, they took care of children, they cooked and cleaned, and that's all that mattered. I'm pretty sure that a lot of men don't really care if their women are fulfilling them sexually or not, because they're gonna go out and find other women to fulfill them sexually. So
that's the apex fallacy. Most men cannot replace their girl.
they can,
No, they can't.
but they can.
That's pretty interesting. Yeah, like another female blind spot. I did talk about this in the blind spot video I made. Like women think that it's going to be just as easy for men as it is for women to just like go out and find another girlfriend, when for most men it's like really, really hard to find a girlfriend. So, yeah, it's interesting how women don't really realize that. Like I said, they're assuming, you know, guys have all these options in this day and age, and it's so easy for men to like fuck any girl he wants. Amazing, amazing. They think that. Yeah. So Nani says, like Drake said, sweatpants, hair tie, chilling with no makeup on. Yeah, Drake doesn't really seem to care what they look like too much. Yeah. All right. So feel free to comment any random thoughts as well as I'm listening to this.
And sexually,
Pretty interesting so
No,
far.
I see. This is another thing women make a very big mistake on. Most guys don't have the same amount of abundance of options that you do at all. At all. How old are you?
21.
Okay, if I took a 21-year-old guy, an average 21-year-old guy, and I took an average 21-year-old girl, that average 21-year-old girl is going to by far have way more sexual experience and/or experience with the opposite gender than that 21-year-old guy. It's common to have 21-year-old men that are virgins, but you ain't going to find that on the female side at all.
We have a virgin on the couch. Well, used to be a virgin.
Used
to be recently. Yeah, tell him, bro, about your experience.
Well, also, I looked a lot different. I was
Speaking to the mic.
My bad. I was like probably 40 or 50 pounds heavier, but yeah, I was 22. Nothing. Hadn't had a first kiss or anything. So yeah,
it's tough out here.
We had to teach that guy a lot, man.
Yeah.
Oh, we had to drop probably like $500,000 to get me laid. So
it's fucking hard. This dude needed a million likes.
It was like 80.
Was it worth it?
$180,000.
Oh, best 30 seconds of my life.
Bro, we spent 100. we spent
I've been
100.
mad as fuck. 30 seconds.
We spent 180 grand on this guy. Posted him on our feed post. He got 1 million likes on our fucking Instagram.
Wow.
Bro,
And that took him to fuck one chick.
and here's the thing, women really don't get it, like how difficult it is for guys to get laid. I mean, right now we got almost 10,000 live viewers. There's YouTube channels all over the place teaching guys how to get girls. There's no YouTube channels out there teaching women how to get guys. If anything, maybe teach you how to get a rich guy to commit to you.
There's no YouTube channels out there teaching women how to get guys. Well, that's really not true. That's like completely false. There's so many channels, books, Facebook groups out there teaching women how to land high value guys. So that's not true. However, I guess they're doing a semi-valuable service trying to educate women about like the realities. So far, I don't have a problem with it. David says disagree. Why do you disagree, David? And with what? I'll keep playing.
You, but not as far as like sexually attracting. Y'all just exist and get attention. We actually have to become somebody to get that same type of attention. You take a guy that's at the top tier, top 2-3% of man, he's not going to get as much attention as an average ass chick. And actually, we've shown this on a chart that even the top 2% of men don't even get as much attention as a girl that's average.
I believe
And the
that,
studies
but
show it.
that's men. That's because of men. That's because of the way men look at women.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm just talking about what is it versus what. This is all. Remember, let's bring it back to the original argument. The original argument is that a woman's nut is not as relevant as a man's, and the reason why is because the man has to bring way more to the table to get the sexual access than the woman does. The woman is be pretty and available. Okay, cool, I'm down. The man, be tall enough, make enough money. In your case, $480K per year, whatever it is on your prerequisites, right? That guy has to achieve something to be able to be put in that position. So my argument simply is, if he doesn't satisfy you sexually, he can make up for it in other ways. If you don't satisfy him sexually, there's not much you can make up for it. See the logic here?
Yeah, but that doesn't make a woman's nut irrelevant.
MRS
Because
chart.
if
It makes
if
it less
a man
important.
doesn't
So you guys tell me, like, is he trying to say something about how, what was he saying? Like, if a woman doesn't satisfy a guy sexually, then like he ditches her? Like, is that what he's trying to say? Like, I don't really get his point, but I mean, I do agree with the basic thing of what he's saying. Like, it's much harder for men to attract, you know, a high quality woman than it is for a woman to attract like a high quality man. And like, it really doesn't matter what you look like much as a woman. You could go up to a guy and be like slightly flirtatious, slightly sexual, and he'll sleep with you. But then again, like, women are kind of trying to get a guy to commit to them for like a family, usually, ultimately. So that is difficult. It's definitely not difficult for women to attract a guy for sex, no matter what he looks like or how rich he is. But I mean, for commitment, it's different. So let's see, what do you guys think? So, David says men are attracted by physically. Well, I don't disagree with that, David. So then Darth says it's hard being a man until you find your true confidence, purpose, and growth. Yeah, I agree with you, Darth. Pissy Mistletoe says, has anyone listened to the Patrice O'Neill's Black Phillip show? I saw like a little clip from it, but I haven't really seen too much of it, so. And then Icky's Crack says, listening to this part reminds me of a video I watched about female dating coaches quitting because they can't help other females no matter what they tell her. So why is that, Icky's? Like, why couldn't they help other women? Garrett, thank you so much for your super chat, Garrett, and good night. Sorry if it's not the most fascinating, but it is pretty interesting for me to listen. Maybe not for you guys to watch, but Daniel says the challenge for women is not to sleep with a guy, it's making the guy stay. Yeah, exactly, Daniel. So Carolite Kid says, I completely agree, Pissy Mistletoe doesn't compare at all to Patrice O'Neill. Hi says, it's 50-50 really. What's 50-50? So Mason says, the thing is, everything is on perspective. If you are a pretty girl with a guy who's attractive, you'll both probably have options. Also, for everything, there is equal proportion of versions on men versus girl. Okay. Then Icky says, well, if you withhold sex in marriage, then any sensible guy would leave unless the couple is actually willing to discuss. So La Barbosa says, the amount of married men who pay for sex is off the charts. I don't buy this lack of options. If we talking about sex only, there's an entire industry for that. Yeah, that's a pretty interesting point, La Barbosa. It's interesting how guys, whatever they do, they don't want to pay for it. Like, they just want to take that option off the table. But yeah, there is the sex work industry that could be used, and you could get sex quite easily by paying for it. So then Tron says, the thing is that women are more picky than men. Yeah, 100%. Persona says, I feel like our world will turn upside down when people can buy realistic sex dolls. If you say so. Yeah. Darth says, are you a Lord of the Rings fan? Well, I'm actually listening to them on Audible right now. I guess I can't really say I am because I have not finished the books. So I'm starting from the beginning and going through them right now, actually. So then Mind Warlock says, relationships become easier for men with age and harder for women as they get older. I don't agree with that, Mind Warlock. People really love to think that. They love to think that once you hit the wall, it's like impossible for a woman to get a relationship or to get sex. It's not. It's not hard. Icky says, the dating coaches try to help make up unrealistic goals and are simply unsatiable. In short, they want a fairy tale. That's interesting. Yeah, I do think many women kind of have extremely high expectations for a guy. All right. Great points, everybody. Let's get back to listening to this.
Make a woman, like, if you're not doing anything to arouse a woman, like, that's bad sex for you. Tell me I'm lying. You're gonna complain that their coochie is dry, it's loose, or it's too tight, it won't fit. It's because you're not doing anything to arouse the woman to make her comfortable.
Here's the difference. Arousal for a woman occurs outside the bedroom most of the time, not inside.
Okay, sexual arousal matters when it comes to sexual arousal.
No, it's a lot of the things you do outside the bedroom.
Just because a man is rich, just because my man takes
Okay. Well, it seems like he just like listened to a TikTok that's like, men, arousal starts outside the bedroom, and then he just like took that as fact, but the fact is, uh, maybe it starts outside the bedroom for some women who like aren't really that turned on by the guy, but arousal happens in the bedroom. So I don't know. He sounds very ignorant when he's saying that for sure.
Carry me doesn't mean he's gonna make me wet when we're trying to
Yeah.
have sex.
I didn't say rich. I'm saying other things that he does.
So
Putting
what
you in your
other
place,
things-
being
what other
attractive,
things?
taking care of himself, going to the gym, being on his mission, etc. All these outside factors, a lot of times, is what turns the girl on in the first place, where she wants to have sex with him.
Yeah,
Women
but
fall in love with their head.
it might turn us on outside of the bedroom, but what turns us on in the bedroom also matters too.
You gotta do both.
Not really, but anyway.
All right. Well, that was like super obnoxious. She's basically trying to tell him something very important, which he clearly doesn't understand about like female arousal, which is that it's not just like going to the gym and being on your purpose. And he's just like, not really. Okay, that's really obnoxious to me because, like, does he understand that the clitoris like exists? I don't know. It sounds like he doesn't by what he just said, but moving on.
To go back to the here, I'll show you all this chart real quick just to illustrate what I'm saying, so you guys know I'm not capped. This is number of messages received versus recipient's attractiveness. As you guys can see, the light blue here is the male recipients, and the dark blue is the female recipients. And the graph shows.
All right, let's just see what you guys said. So, this is random, but what are your guys' thoughts on being a 26-year-old male with a 30-year-old woman? I think it's great, Eric. I don't see a problem with it. You guys can chime in. Daniel says women may say that it's the man's fault, but still it's the women giving birth to this man. Okay. Interesting point, Daniel. So Daryl says, unless you watch the whole show, TikToks mislead the discussion. Well, this actually is the whole show. I just started at a timestamp someone told me to start at. So Dark says, incredible. Also, I wouldn't consider buying prostitutes as options, not even a sexual option, but I guess that's just my morals. A legit option is meeting a woman in person and hooking up. Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with paying somebody for a service they're consensually willing to provide. I think that's very moral. So, yeah, we are all being watched as OMG, no D's. Okay. Yeah. Be what it is. Thank you so much. You're such a generous guy. And he says, money is cheap. The majority of society is cheap. Being a man is expensive. Having your woman is priceless. Pleasing and being pleased is free. Fresh and fit is a circus. Yeah. This guy puts his money where his mouth is because you're a very generous guy and you said being a man is expensive, having your woman is priceless, pleasing and being pleased is free. Interesting thoughts be what it is. Yeah, fresh and fit. It's definitely entertaining. But yeah, it's a lot of arguing so far. Thank you so much again, be what it is. Jonathan, I'm watching it right now. So yeah, we're gonna go back to it in a second. I'm just reading some comments. David says nothing wrong with a consensual transaction. 100%, David. Mason says search fresh and fit John Anthony. He just nukes the sky. People just need to meet looks or money threshold, and you'll be able to do what you want in your circumstances. Yeah, I mean that can definitely help. Looks and money threshold. Great looks and very rich. You don't need much more than that, but that doesn't mean that's the only way to get women. So, all right. Daryl says maintaining a woman is more experience to maintain her. Men don't require as much. Very true. All right, let's go on with fresh and fit. And then, okay, we'll just see. Jean says, why don't women like sex as much as men? Is it because of testosterone? I think the real reason is that, first of all, women do like sex as much as men when it's sex they like. However, due to our lack of sex education, most sex we see in movies, TV shows is PIV. Penis in, penis out, the guy comes. That doesn't have much for a woman in it. So if a woman gets the experience that you see in the movies, that's not actually going to turn her on very much. Okay? That's not actually sex built for a woman. And for a woman to overcome that, she's going to have to, one, be very adept at masturbating, feel comfortable talking about her true desires, feel comfortable touching herself, feel comfortable talking about her sexual fantasies, feel comfortable bringing up that, the kind of foreplay she likes and needs. And a lot of women are not comfortable doing that because we live in a very sex negative society. So women aren't having good sex. In other words, women aren't having sex that they like. And so they're not that eager to have it. However, when a woman does have sex that she likes sex just as much as a man. Yeah. So let's go on with this.
The amount of messages sent. So you look at the men's side, right? On the light blue, the most attractive guys barely compete with average looking women when it comes to messages received.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't date attractive guys. Like, you gotta be some type of ugly.
Okay, but he's got to make money though.
Like, we gotta compliment each other. You can't be too damn cute. Like,
Here's the thing. But here's the thing. What he lacks in look.
Well, so I definitely agree with their point that like the most attractive men don't have like the potential that the ugliest woman has. Like absolutely. The ugliest woman in the world could probably get like 1,000 offers per day for sex, if not like a whole lot more. And the most attractive guy in the world, it's probably gonna be far less than that. So definitely no arguments there. Then I thought it was interesting that this other girl's saying, "Oh, I like ugly guys," and that's the thing that a lot of girls like. They don't like guys that are too attractive because it makes them feel insecure, not being the hot one in the relationship. So, for sure, interesting point.
He's got to make up for an income. The man you described making 30, 40K per month is in the top, less than 1% of top men. See how?
And then this fresh and fit guy, like he's saying, "Oh no, you don't like ugly men. He can be ugly, but he also has to be rich." No, not necessarily, but he seems to be really, what's the word? Just married to this point, but.
The math doesn't add up. Y'all have zero leverage when you go up the scale in men. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's why your nut isn't relevant. Get a more average nigga if you want your nut. That's it.
My thing is,
I ain't got nothing to say.
in 2022, as a guy, you gotta be excellent in every area, bro.
Yeah.
Inside and outside, because if you don't do it, someone else will. That's all I'm saying.
All right. So, any more chats? That was a funny little conversation there. Guys, like the fucking video, by the way. First, can you read these real quick?
Picasso in the flesh, $10 says, ladies, rate yourself on a scale from 1 to 10 before using the number 7. I'll start right here.
I think I'm like a 8.
8? Okay, smooth 8. All right. What about you? 1 out of 10.
I mean, if I can't use the number 7, I'm gonna say 6.
6?
I know I ain't that hot. Fuck that.
This is fucking disgusting.
what's your
I hate
background?
this so much.
I'm from Costa Rica originally.
Penis, please.
I know, guys. I seriously hate this. It's like they said the ugliest girl can get like the hottest guy, and then they're trying to humble them by having them be like, "Oh, I'm just a 4." Why does it matter if this 4 can fucking get any guy she wants? I don't like that, but whatever.
Cool.
Pura vida. Thank you. Sorry. Me?
Mhm.
Over 9,000.
Over 9,000. Hey, I like it.
Over 9,000.
What's the scholar? What about you?
8.2.
That's an 8.2.
Why
8.2?
Why not? I didn't want to do 8.5. I didn't want to do 8, so I kind of just said
In the middle. Okay.
I find this like really weird and gross because it's like these girls know that if they say they're a 10, that these guys will just be, "Oh, so you think you're a 10? You think you're a 10? really? Well, and just try to like humble them. So it's just sad they're like humbling themselves. And then Daryl says, no, a 4 cannot. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, Daryl, but actually a 4 can get any guy she wants. Sexually, yes. Have you ever seen like a girl posting naked photos online who doesn't look conventionally attractive at all? And do you see how many guys are commenting, begging for sex? Yes, I'm sorry, Daryl. A 4 can. As Brett says, a 4 can lay any guy she wants. She cannot secure any man in a lasting relationship. Yeah, I agree, Brett. But, she could get in a relationship too if she wanted. But you're right. 4 can lay any guy she wants. Yes. All right, let's go on with this humiliating rating system.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm a 10.
Oh,
Let's
go
see.
figure.
I want to know why none of y'all said a 10.
I said over 9,000.
Oh, you did say
over
9,000. Like, why not? I don't know. I feel like I'm a 10.
Merch.
I don't care.
Who said go figure?
I said go figure.
Rate yourself.
Right now?
Yeah.
That
Right now.
Deadass
When?
right now.
Tomorrow?
You want
right
mine?
now.
Mm-hmm.
Are you serious?
Rate yourself. What's? Come on.
Honestly, for me, I said I'm like a 6.
Yeah, go figure.
Why would you say 6?
6 is a little below
I feel like
average.
come with
Do you really
confidence,
think you're
like-
only a little below average.
Well,
I
I make it
can't
for it
speak
in
for
different
nobody
ways.
but my
I'm sorry. I just find this really annoying. Like, why does everyone have to rate themselves like on a scale? Like, why?
myself. Like, I don't know.
I make it for it different ways.
The
If you know what I mean.
10s right
Okay, so
now.
what would make
what
you
are
a
the
10?
different ways? I don't know. For me, 10 right now, like, it's overrated.
What are the
like,
many
I
different
can't,
ways?
Like, I'm.
Because
Wait, so one more guy time, please.
I'm me, bro. Like, I don't know.
So
I don't feel like
I'm gonna be honest,
anywhere
right?
on a scale.
It's
Period.
confidence.
Like,
Your
I don't feel like
confidence
I'm
gotta be
anywhere
up
on a
there.
scale. No, I
Period.
just don't feel like I'm on a scale. Like,
exclamation
what
mark.
the fuck is a scale 1 to 10? Like,
No, but you
Quotations.
still rated yourself
Very
though.
simple.
You still rated
correct.
yourself.
Yeah, but I'm like,
But why not a 10?
I don't know, because I'm not perfect.
There you
I
go.
have imperfections. I'm not
Wait,
fucking
No,
perfect.
but understand
You know what?
that nobody's perfect though.
Hold on, wait,
Understood,
wait, wait.
absolutely.
Hold on. So why 10?
So
Are you
why
perfect?
do you rate yourself a 10?
I'm not perfect, but I have
But you said 10 though.
self-confidence.
Yeah,
yes.
he's a 10 now.
Yes, I
Does
still
10
feel like
mean
I'm a 10.
perfect?
Yes, it does.
It doesn't mean perfect.
Okay, this is just stupid. All right, so then Jonathan says they rate themselves out of insecurity, even if they rate themselves at the highest number. Yeah, you're right. They do. I mean, if you say you're a 10, you're basically like, come at me, bro. I'm a 10. I'm perfect. Try to tell me otherwise. And then it's like, oh, I'm a 6. Don't hurt me. I know I'm not that great. It's very like, pick me. It's annoying. This is just silly. Like, I really find it very obnoxious, but okay. Let's see what you guys think about this. So, THDA says it's literally impossible to be a 10. Is it? Why do you think it's impossible? And then Icky's Croc says, I feel in simple terms, women like foreplay and sensuality. Some guys just want a happy ending and they don't care how they get there. Yeah, good point, Icky's. I'm not saying all women like sensuality only, but they definitely want more than just a happy ending usually. Although I'm sure if a guy just offered to like give them an orgasm the way they wanted, they'd take that too, but so then David says, even if a girl is a 10, if I do say she's a 10, then it is difficult for me to get her. So likely I will not admit it for the possibility that I could get it. Interesting admission, David. I do realize this is like a big fear of guys, complimenting women and simping on women and never compliment a woman. I think it's a lot more complicated than that because, like, a lot of girls would not be turned off if a guy called them a 10. But you want to do it in the right way, as I said. So Eric says, wow, so inspiring. They have come to the astounding realization they aren't perfect. Okay, interesting point, Eric. So Brett says, I can't rate any man, including myself. Why not, Brett? So then the raw track says, is 7.5 inches, 5 inches girth? 5 inches girth, that's very large. So Carolite kisses, you seem to be such a kind woman. Thank you for taking the time to do this, pass on this information. That's very nice of you, Carolite, because I don't feel like I'm being very kind right now because I'm being very like annoyed. But thank you. So a high says, if a woman admits she's a 10, then I have to be a 10? No. And this is pretty fascinating, like the interesting things I see men trying to do in the comments on my channel, where they think that if they're a 7 and the girl's a 6, then it's almost like a given that they're going to be able to fuck this girl. And it's literally mind-boggling to me when I see it. Like, they think that life works like this, like it's some basic math, where if you're higher on the scale than her, then you have very little chance of rejection and you can like fuck her. It doesn't work like that. So if she's a 10, you do not have to be a 10. I mean, yeah, like you said, it's all subjective. Lol, this is crazy. So, what is NEG? Oh, neg. Yeah, you're trying to neg the girls. Yeah, so Dar says, definitely compliment a beautiful woman, but don't beat her over the head with compliments. It seems disingenuous. Well, my boyfriend compliments me like nonstop, and I love it. And pretty much every woman I know wants that. So I can see why it's like a powerful move to withhold it if you want to like play that game. But yeah. So then Mind Warlock says, the question is whether the men they want to marry want the same thing. If they want different things, the measurement is meaningless. Huh, interesting point, Mind Warlock. That's a great point. Be what it is. Thank you so much. We are an Abrahamic society, and these concepts are based off being the man. As men, we score livestock in bushels per acre with numbers, not empathy. Interesting. So you're saying this is like a very male thing to quantify women's like rating. Interesting point, be what it is. So then Daryl says that's not the point of the rating. Okay, so what is the point, Daryl? Brett says, yeah, 10 is almost impossible because I've never known one. Known many 9s though. Yeah, I mean, like this in the beginning, like a lot of guys, they were like rating me on my channel, and this one guy is telling me Beyonce is an 8. So like don't feel bad. You're not as hot. I'm like, okay, Beyonce is an 8? Bro, like, wow. Like, oh god. So if the girl is a 10, she feels like 6 in front of me is beneficial for me to date her. I don't know what that means, David. If the girl is a 10, even if the girl is 10, if she feels like a 6 in front of me, it is beneficial for me to date her. That's why guys neg about numbers. Okay, yeah. I know, David. Yeah, that's what it seems like. Like, guys, they just want to, make girls think that, they have low self-esteem and they're not very good looking and they'll never get another guy. And then maybe you'll have a better chance with her. I mean, this was just weak. Like, so then Dar says, imagine if a guy first meets you and says you're beautiful, but every sentence after he keeps bringing up your looks. That wouldn't be strange or annoying to you? Not a boyfriend, but someone you're first meeting. Yeah, Darth, that's a good point. Like, that's why I kind of realized, like, at first I was just thinking, you guys say never compliment a woman? Like, that's so stupid. But then I realized, you know what? There's many ways to compliment in an obnoxious or weird way. So it's not all compliments that good, because I agree. That would be kind of annoying if a guy just fixates on your looks in like an extremely obsessive and semi-creepy way, because it's kind of creepy to a girl to feel like, he doesn't see you as a person, but he just sees you kind of as like a piece of meat that he wants to like fuck, So yeah, I agree. It could be weird and annoying. So you do have to do it in a confident, calm, and, empowered way or whatever. So, yeah. So, Dar says, I compliment my lady all the time, but at first, not as much. Also, you're a Big 10. Thank you, Darth. I appreciate that because, oh gosh, it's just, whether we're 10s or not, let's just, prop each other up. Do you know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel about it. Just try to, see the good in people and just see the 10 in people. I don't know. Thank you for that, Darth. So then Nani says, everybody got different tastes. Not everybody's going to like your favorite type of ice cream. Yeah, that's true. So, all right, let's just continue on a little bit with this.
It
10 is
says,
perfect, though.
to me, when you say a scale from 1 to 10 to rate yourself,
Yeah, the scale.
you're scaling yourself. My confidence is at a 10. I feel like I look good.
March.
When
But
I
see-
wake up in the morning,
But see,
like,
but see, I can say 6 and no.
That's
I'm
your opinion.
No. I'm confident
No,
because
that's you
I
upset
know
at,
who I'm at and what I'm about.
Mhm.
So me saying 6 doesn't mean that I'm not confident. It just means
Right.
that, you know what? I know where I'm at.
I know where I'm at on social scale.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's it.
I don't
I'm
know.
like, if we talking social, because this is what this is.
And
It's a social
you'd
scale,
be surprised.
social
Me
scale.
being a 6 with personality, game, maybe a little lifestyle,
That part.
I go really far.
Mm.
Because I know where I'm at. You, on the other hand, are delusional because the 10 means you're perfect. Which means you need.
Nobody is perfect, though.
You just said you're perfect, though.
No, I never
made
said
no
I was
sense.
perfect.
You just said you're a
She
10.
said she's confident.
I'm
like a 10.
confident.
I mean,
Listen,
to cut
That
the
means
nails,
nobody
the
can really be
makeup,
like,
the
Here's the
lashes,
problem, right?
the
somebody-
hair.
when girls say 10, that means you have nothing to work on. That means that you
I
yourself
could
say, you know
walk,
what?
listen, I truly could walk around with no wig, no
Stop the
lashes,
cap.
But then do
no
it.
nothing. I get on live.
Cap.
But because I'm an artist, it's
Stop
like,
the cap.
people look at you and, like you
Oh,
sell
it's
lifestyle
image.
too. But I
Gotcha.
could definitely, I do that. I get on live flawless. Like, come on, I don't have no makeup on.
You
You know?
gotta be
What,
realistic.
you right now?
You gotta be realistic.
Talking about like
Not
when
for
she gets on
real.
live.
I said when I get on live, like I don't really wear blonde hair. Like sometimes I wear a bonnet. I be at home with a bonnet on live.
So
Okay.
are you a 10?
I'm still a 10. I don't care.
Okay.
Like
Okay,
my self-confidence
alright.
went there. You feel me?
That's
I don't know if you guys know what just occurred just now. Audience, do you guys just know what just happened just now? Audience, guys in the chats are gonna tell me if you guys saw what just happened just now during this conversation.
What happened? He wouldn't
Chris,
go put his
hit
cap
the
in.
new comments on. I'm self-conscious about my hair. That's why. All right. Did any let me see. I'm looking at the chat, see if any of you guys caught just what the fuck happened just there. We saw that's crazy. We saw. Okay, nah, y'all didn't catch it. All right, so
You triggered my trap
I
card.
wanted that conversation to ride out because what I've realized, we do this question all the time. Hey, what do you rate yourselves? And a lot of girls rate themselves either 10, 11, 21. I don't fucking know, 100 or 9,000 in this case. And what I've come to realize from asking women this question is women historically from being on the show, well over 1,000 now that we've asked, overrate themselves, or they say that they're damn near perfect. And then I really love that you did when it came to you, you said, why don't y'all all rate yourselves 10s? And then it started the conversation of, hey, you need to look at yourself a little bit more and you need to be a 10, you're a 10, you're a 10, and you're a 10. And one of my critiques of women in general is that when women get together and they speak amongst each other, you guys rarely hold each other accountable and or tell each other the truth. You will tell each other, you look fine the way that you are. You don't need to lose weight. You're a perfect girl. You go queen, etc. And that conversation was going to happen had we not been here easily. And a lot of, because I study women, I'm telling y'all, I literally study y'all. And this is why we have more obese women than we have obese men. We have more single women than ever before. And I
fuck, here
argue
comes the
that
fat
is because
shaming.
women are not critical of each other. They tell each other comforting lies versus painful truths.
It's true.
Just now, we literally witnessed it. Y'all saw it in 4K. She told them, why didn't y'all all rate yourselves 10s? I guarantee if the guys weren't here, the conversation would have been a little bit different. Well, you know what? Maybe I am a 9. Or you know what? Fuck these niggas. I'm the best. And that's why a lot of girls have quite a bit of hubris in 2022. So my thing is, I genuinely have seen and believe that women gas each other up to no fucking fail, bro. So I don't know if you guys agree, disagree, if you have something you want to say on that, but men don't operate like that. If your guy friend is fat, you gotta tell him, bro, you look like fucking shit, or you're gonna make fun of him for it. Women, y'all don't do that to each other. You guys don't
That's not
criticize each
true.
other.
That's not true because my friends will chew my ass if I wear an outfit and they don't fuck with it. They gonna chew my ass.
Yeah, but they're not gonna tell you, bitch, you look ugly. They're gonna
Okay, well, I guess he has a point that a big part of female culture, you might say, is supporting each other and kind of like hyping each other up. So no, he's not wrong though. Um, but and like men, I agree, they're kind of more like, just blunt and direct with each other. They're kind of like rude to each other. They don't really like consider, what would hurt another guy's feelings like women do. But it's kind of interesting because like his point seems to be like it's so bad because you women need to tell each other like you're ugly and fat. I don't really see why women need to do that. Like women are doing just fine. So why does he feel like women need to tell each other, "Oh, you're fat, bitch. Lose weight, go to the gym." Like what's the point of that? What do you guys think? Like is that important? I just feel like men want to humble women like so bad. Icky's crack says, "You got the look of I'm contemplating if life is worth living look on right now." LMAO. Yeah, it was difficult for me to hear that last part. Like that was I hated listening to that, but I mean, he has a point. I just feel like why is he pushing it? Like why does it matter? Why does it matter if women tell each other if you were thinner, you might be able to get like a richer guy. You might be able to get a better looking guy. I mean, there's plenty of people in women's life who are telling them you're fat. Like, for example, women's parents, like women get that from their mother. Oh, you're fat. You'll never get a man. From their father, from other girls, at school who aren't their friends. Like, why do your friends need to tell you, you're ugly and fat? That's part of like male culture, I guess. It's not really part of female culture for better or worse. Like, what do you guys think? So Ecliptic says, yeah, I think he's just saying women don't like calling other women out and start conflict. Yeah, like I agree, they don't. That's definitely true. Like I do feel in like female friend groups, like female rules, like you don't just call other women out. Like, for example, my boyfriend, I was watching a little bit of Mean Girls with him last night, and he was saying, "Oh, I think it's really interesting because it's kind of like from the female gaze, like how the Mean Girls, when they think you look ugly, they'll be like, 'Oh my god, I love your bracelet. Where'd you get it?' And that means like I hate your bracelet. You know what I'm saying? So there's these different like conventions and female culture. We don't act direct. We don't call each other out directly. It's interesting. So then Corey says, humans want to humble those who seem fixed in their ways, I feel. That's a good point, Corey. Like, I kind of agree with you. Like, I feel that with like YouTube comments, Like, people just, and I have the same urge when you see someone who just feels like so fixed in their ways, you just want to like suck the truth to them, you know? And people always say, "Oh, haters, they just live such miserable lives and they're so unhappy." But I think like your point is actually more why they do it. Like you just feel this need to humble those who seem fixed in their ways. So yeah, maybe that's all it is, and that's what he's doing. So good point. So Eric says, "No, it's not. It's degrading another human so you exploit them or make yourself feel superior." Yeah, Eric, that's kind of what it feels like to me as well. But um Daryl says, "Don't shame me for liking to be active." Okay, Daryl. Um, I won't. So, Antonio says, "Annoying how she gives her experience," and he says no, like he knows more about what's going on in her life. Yeah, Antonio, I agree. Like, I've noticed that he keeps doing that. It's really annoying. And like just a few minutes ago, he was doing something that just literally showed that he doesn't understand women sexually, but he thinks he does. And it was kind of like a hilarious tell. Yeah, that's very annoying. No. Okay. Yeah, I can't agree with that more, Antonio. Then David says, "There is neg and there's defamation. No individual should insult others for no reason." Hello, Fast Eddie. Then Eric says, "Jesting with your friends is not at all the same thing as negging." Yeah. Darth says, I think what he's saying is that a lot of women aren't in relationships but want to be, so they need to force each other into the positions they want. A lot of girls out here are hurting for a partner. Yeah, Darth, I kind of know what you mean, because it's like, I mean, like, I had this guy friend when I was dating, and he was just, one time he just told me, if you just lost like a little more weight, if you just lost like 10 pounds or 15 pounds, you could be in like the top tier and you could get like all these rich people and you could look like, a model. And this is when I was like a lot younger. And that hurt in a way, because I'm like, really? But at the same time, like, he was probably right. So I mean, if people lose weight, like, they're definitely gonna attract a greater variety of men most times. So, like, I'm not disagreeing with that it can help you. But, like, another thing, like, my dad used to give me all these tips all the time about what I can do to get a guy to like me. Like, he told me, "Oh, just wear stilettos all the time. Do you wear, like, sexy stilettos all the time?" I'm like, "Fuck no, I don't. Like, I want to walk. Like, I don't wanna teeter around." Was he right? That if I wore stilettos all the time, I would have, like, attracted men? Yeah, he was. But, like, okay, like, so, yeah, obviously, there's lots of things women could do to, like, be more attractive to the male gaze. Like, no one's arguing with that. Um, but for me, wasn't worth it. For example, if I smiled like all the time, I'm sure maybe I could attract some more guys too. But I hate to smile. Um, and I can't do it. So I'm just not gonna do it. Like, I just have to find a guy without that. Like, so David says, not sure about US defamation. Darsh says, if you take it easy on someone, they won't grow, but they'll improve when forced to. Well, there's definitely different like styles of motivation. Some people respond well to tough love, and some people respond well to praise and affirmation and positive encouragement. So yeah. So Anthony says, no, he's saying that because women do the same thing to men and think it's okay. So women tell men like, you're ugly, be better. And so he's kind of like retaliating, like, well, we should be able to do that to you. Okay. All right.
They're gonna tell you, hey, like, I think
No,
you look
my
better in
friends,
this.
like, listen, you know what I hate?
Caribbean.
I hate,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I hate when I'm cool and I'm close as fuck with somebody and they don't tell me the truth. Like, girl, if I walk out with an outfit and that shit is ugly, like, I want you to tell me the truth. Because if somebody else tell me it's ugly and you don't tell me it's ugly, I'm gonna be like, damn, I can't let her judge no more. Like, I can't really fuck with her.
Well,
she can't be honest with me.
Okay, let's rewind.
You
Literally,
let me come out the house ugly?
let's rewind like 10 minutes ago. Not even 10, like 4 minutes ago. You're telling all the girls here to rate themselves 10s.
Yeah.
They're not
Because
10s.
listen, no, this is the thing. No, this is the thing. This is the thing, right? When you are confident within yourself.
This reminds me of this like awful video I once saw that was like posted in a group. And it was like this porn clip where this guy just tried to like humiliate these different girls who are kind of like casting couch kind of like people. And he just started telling them like they're ugly, and like these girls, I mean, they must have like signed up for it, but it just looked like they were like cracking and crying. And that's what it seems like he's doing. It's like he's getting off on like insulting and like degrading these women. And I find it honestly repulsive. And I'm just going to say it, beta as fuck.
You feel better. Like, if you wake up and you be like, man, I'm beautiful as fuck, your confidence is different. If you wake up and you be like, I'm all right.
Yeah, but real life though.
Not for real.
How do you improve though? If you think
You take care of yourself.
No, but you're saying
You take care of yourself.
Look at confidence, thinking I'm a 10. Where do I improve? Versus, you know what? I'm a 6 or a 5.
Whatever you lacking. I feel like you just don't, because it's just who you are. And another thing that people seem to not like talk about is the fact that a person might be like a 10 to one person, but just because that person's a 10 to that person doesn't mean that you're a 10 to the other.
But that's that
you know?
person. There's a lot of people that's not attracted to me. That's normal. There's a lot of people that say I'm ugly. There's a lot of people that say I'm ugly. I get on these lives and it be like a lot of people on there. They make fun of me all the time, but that don't take away how I feel about myself.
Yeah.
You know, if you have flaws, like, okay, for
Reality.
example, I had a child, right? And my body was different. I had a SpongeBob body. So to make myself feel better, what did I do? I went and I got my body done. It made me feel better within myself, not because people was making fun of me, because I still had a nice body before. But what am I gonna do for myself? That's why I respect Jada Waiter. Like Jada, she was like, okay, yeah, I got my lips done. Or she had a lazy eye and they was making fun of her for the lazy eyes. It's nothing wrong with fixing yourself. You feel me? Like, it's nothing wrong with making yourself. I feel like with us females, we have to be confident. That's how you attract different people. Because if you walking outside, you like, whatever, I'm okay. But if you walk outside and you just like smiling, you feel flawless. Like more people.
I would argue that mindset is what keeps. I would argue against that mindset because that mindset is what keeps so many women single, perpetually single.
What you mean? What?
They think that they're perfect or they have a higher sense of self-worth than they really. Hold on. Than they actually really have. Because here's the thing, though. I always laugh women to give themselves 10s, etc. If you're really a 10, then you're a supermodel and you should be married to an A-list athlete. You're not, though. And women, the thing is, women is that they arbitrarily give themselves their own scores. And if your score was really that high, you would be married to a high-value guy, but you're not. So therefore, that means you clearly have to work on yourself. But women love to give themselves perfect scores all the time and say that there's nothing wrong with me.
You want me to rate myself.
But men, though, what I've come to realize with men is men operate in reality. Men understand, yo, I'm a fucking loser. Like, I don't see, here's the thing. There's a difference between men and women. I'll never see a dude that lives with his mom, is a fucking bum, fat, etc., pizza grease on his shirt saying, yo, son, I deserve a bad bitch. Yeah. And then all his boys around him like, yeah, nigga, you deserve a bad bitch. You go, king. We don't do that shit. We got a bunch of fucking whales out here, chicks that look like dog shit, saying, yo, I deserve a top tier man. Yeah, you go, queen. Oh, and you know what I'm talking about.
Okay. If there are any other girls on here, like, is anyone else having just a visceral reaction? Because it's just like, I don't want to, like, put you guys, not you guys, okay, but I don't want to, like, put men like this down too much. But when I hear, like, men complaining and whining and trying to tear women down to their level, though, like, I don't want to be too harsh, but, like, it just comes off as, like, just whiny as fuck. And it's like, how is anyone with this man after he's just like, all I just hear is like, ugh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I am in my feelings, but to be honest, this is how it comes across. I just feel like men, women like, do not spend their time like trying to tear women down. Tell them how, you know, they're whales and they're fat and they're ugly and you don't deserve to get them. It's like, if you're really so concerned about like women not, you know, finding men, like, I mean, they're obviously not concerned with that. They want to humble women. And my question to you guys is, do you find it necessary? Like, is it just satisfying? Like, I don't know. I just find it like a gross attitude. What do you guys think? You can opinions as well, and I'll read them. So, Darth says, lol, those faces. Yeah. Yes, Darth. David says, freedom of speech in the U.S. Constitution protects it. Yeah, and that's fine. Like, I'm glad they have their podcast, and I don't think there's anything wrong with them saying what they're saying. I'm all for freedom of speech and all that. Vicky says, who the fuck wakes up and says, dang, I'm beautiful as fuck? Conceited much? I think actually a lot of girls do wake up feeling like that. So Antonio says, I joined live half an hour in. Did you actually enjoy this, or is it a hate watch situation? I'm trying to give it like a fair listen, Antonio, I had watched like 15 minutes before and I did kind of hate it and it was a hate watch situation. But then this guy, Lamar, he asked me to watch it and I was kind of dreading as well. I was thinking, why don't I watch it on live and live react? So I'm trying to give it a fair listen, but to be honest, I really did hate this last segment about, you girls think you're tens and you're not. I don't know. This is just maybe a pet peeve of mine. So Daryl says they actually cover all aspects from dating to finances. You should consider them very informed. Well, when I get to that part, I will consider it. So John says, speak the truth, don't hold back. Okay, John, I'll try. I just feel bad because I'm like, just don't really have like a reason more than just like in the very core of me, there's something repulsive about a man like stooping to this level of like misogyny and nagging and whining. I don't know. There's just something I don't respect or like about it. So then David says people act according to the law. All human nature is cultured through the law. Okay. Joel says it's a discussion, and you saying he's whining when there are actual issues that men are concerned about. Okay, well, Daryl, feel free to enlighten me. What is the actual issue that is concerning him at the core of this? Like, why is it important to men that women do not consider themselves beautiful and attractive? What is so important to men about trying to make women say, yeah, I'm average. Yeah, I have a lot of flaws. Because the reason why women are trying to tell themselves, I'm a 10, I'm beautiful, I'm perfect, hyping themselves up is because they feel like they do have flaws. And since women are valued by men basically for their beauty, they feel that they have to hype themselves up to have confidence because they're judged for their beauty. And so you know, that's why they're saying tens, and I think that's why it bothers me so much that he's trying to basically take the defenses around, like, the wound for them away from them and just have them kinda, like, feel ugly and have them feel like, "I don't deserve anything, and I don't," like the way I look. Like, this isn't gonna be good for men either. If a woman just thinks, like, "Oh, yeah, I'm nothing." Do you think she's gonna feel good about, like, having sex with a guy? No. She's gonna feel embarrassed about her body. She's gonna feel like she's gross. When a woman feels good, when a woman feels beautiful, when a woman feels like a 10, she wants to, like, share that sexiness with men. And so, I just find it, like, so counterproductive and so disturbing, I guess. Um So David says it is called average frustrated chump. Yes, David. So then Darth says, I know it's very strange to hear, but all he's doing is switching roles for the women to put in perspective. But no, I'd never say put a woman down unless she's a close friend asking for honest advice. Yeah. I mean, that's fair. Like if a close friend just says, I want like honest feedback. Like, is there anything you think I could change to like get in a relationship? I say that's totally fair. So, yeah, I mean, I guess I don't disagree with that. But then you're saying he's just switching roles so the women kind of understand. But it's like, do women do this to men? Let me know. Do women tell men all the time, like, you know, you're just average, you're not good enough, you're ugly? I mean, I feel like they do when they're feeling threatened, by a guy who's asking them out, maybe, and they feel uncomfortable. They might like lash out. But is it more than that, Darth? Um, Okay. Hello, Sunny Beach. Kiwi says men are judged for their beauty too. Indeed. Um. Kiwi says at 5'10", I get told I'm too short and or too white. Oof. Wow, that's interesting. At 5'10", yeah, that's already too short. Wow. So then Jonathan says, I will say women have a lot of power in the dating world, so I think that's his concern. He thinks the power should be equal. All right, that's interesting, Jonathan. Interesting. So Dar says, we all have flaws. He's saying that we all need to see and fix our flaws to live the lives we want. We can't mask anything as a man. And he's trying to put that on women too. IDK, how I feel about that? That's okay. That's a pretty good explanation, Darth. So he's saying, like, men have to be honest with themselves about their flaws, which I agree with. And he wants women to do it too. Yeah. Yeah, I just don't understand why he like wants to put that on women too. Why does he need women to do it? I mean, it's fair to say, to suggest it to women, like, oh, I think it would be more effective if you just were kind of like honest about your flaws. But I don't know, there just seems to be some like need to humble them, which I just am reacting badly to. But yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, you need to kind of take an honest look if you want to improve or whatever. But do they even want to improve? I don't know. Do they even need to improve? They seem to be doing just fine. So then David says, GG, thank you for the podcast and thank you for your other videos. They're amazing. Thank you, David. And interesting points you made. I appreciate them. So then for 5900 says, well, that's a problem, Vic. A woman can't define what a man finds attractive. You can't call yourself a 10 if you're not. I'm not really sure what that means. A woman can't define what a man finds attractive. Okay. He's harder on men on the Day of Rome show, okay? So Thaiki says, remember this is an internet show, so the shock value is purposely amplified. They aren't trying to pick up girls here. It's gamifying holding women accountable the same way men are held accountable. For what purpose, though? Like, somebody answer that question for me. You guys have given me some good things, but I still don't really understand where it's coming from. Maybe I'll have to reread your comments to go over them. So Dar says he does seem to have animosity, which is kind of why I find him annoying, but knowledgeable in other areas. Yeah. All right, guys, let's keep going. Interesting, very interesting points. It's helpful hearing your thoughts on it. I think like actually this one that I didn't. So he's saying, you know, you can't call this guy, who was it? He said, you can't call yourself a 10 if you're not. I feel like that's probably what it is. It's like he wants women to understand that, you know, a supermodel is a 10 to a guy, although I mean people have different tastes, like, but for the majority, a supermodel is a 10, and he doesn't like how women who maybe are fat are calling themselves 10s. It annoys him because it's like women seem to define what is attractive to men when he wants to kind of have this like male standard, like, no, we men are telling you, like, you're ugly, and yet you keep saying you're beautiful. Like, we're telling you you're ugly and fat, and yet you still want to consider yourselves beautiful. And it's like, sure, I think that women want to kind of ignore like the male beauty standard because the fact is they do fine without conforming to the male beauty standard. But I can see why he would kind of be wanting to like speak up for men and be like, what we find attractive is just as important as what you guys find attractive. So, okay, I'm gonna block you, Daryl, because it's really annoying. I'm just gonna put you in timeout, although that'll probably just make you more mad, but I really cannot take it with, like, the fat shaming. You can find fat people unattractive, that's fine, okay? A lot of guys are okay with fat people, a lot of guys even prefer fat people. I'm not saying the majority, but please just stop, like, shaming people who are fat. It's annoying to me. I understand your opinion. Alright, I'm not gonna put you in a timeout because I don't need to, but it is super annoying. Alright, maybe I will, because you just keep going on and on about how fat people suck. We get it. That's your opinion. Thank you for sharing. Alright. Okay, let's continue.
You see those fucking whales in the club thinking, yeah, it's single ladies. Oh, no, what the fuck? Y'all need to go back to the gym. But women gas each other up and lie to each other all
But
the
you know what?
time. Hold on, let me finish. So they don't live in reality, bro. And they lie to each other and perpetuate this fucking bullshit narrative like, yo, I'm perfect. I deserve a high value man. And they're 300 pounds. What the fuck? But men, if I'm a fat loser, etc., my friends are going to clown me. I'm not, you'll never catch a bum ass nigga that lives with his mom, that's a loser and knows he's a loser, saying, yo, I deserve a bad bitch. They just take what they can get because
He's
they
still
live in
gonna have a
reality.
bitch though.
So
Huh?
how?
He's still gonna have a bitch.
Probably
though.
not.
But she ain't
She's gonna
bad
be
He's still
though.
gonna have a bitch.
Yeah,
She ain't gonna be bad though.
she ain't bad though.
So
Go ahead.
So how do you know that a woman hasn't turned down what you would consider a high value man based off of his, income and anything like that? Like, what if she just didn't want to be with that
true.
motherfucker because
What does that have to do with the argument though?
what I'm saying is, like, you said that if you are a 10, this is exactly what you said, right? You said if you are a 10, then you should definitely be married to a high value man.
Yeah.
This is what you said.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if you are a 10 and you're not married to a high value man, how do you know that she didn't just turn down those motherfuckers? Maybe she just doesn't want to have don't want to be with somebody.
You want to know how? Because I
Let me
know
know.
that the female biological imperative is to find the best man and lock him down in some type of security. That's why.
Definitely not every woman.
Okay.
Some niggas
Here's the
I
thing.
don't know.
Here's the thing.
This is
If I lined up,
Miami.
okay, hold on.
Miami is
Here we go with the
Miami.
exception rule. If I line up 100 women, 90 of them are going to want a stable relationship with a man of value that they admire and respect and want to be monogamous with that man and get security from that man. Women don't run around and sport fuck most of the time. Now, can some girls do it? For sure. But most of the time, if I line up 100 chicks, they're going to want one guy. Now, switch on the other side with men. Line up 100 dudes. Most of them are going to want a main chick and then have sex with as many girls as they can get. Most guys can't pull that off, though. So that's how I know.
Okay, like, I agree with what he's saying there. He's just really annoying. Alright. But, like, I don't have any issue with what he's saying just then, but it's, like, very rude how he kind of, like, doesn't respect the women who are on his show and keeps trying to put them down and make them seem, stupid. It's a rude way to conduct a show, but alright. So then Jonathan says, wow, so a man is a loser if he's overweight, even if he has other things going for him? They're just promoting discrimination. I would have shut this podcast off by now. Yeah, Jonathan, like, that really bothers me too. I hate that so much. I would have shut off the podcast by now too, but I told this guy that I will watch it. So I'm gonna give it a fair shot and keep watching. So Ecliptic Sir says the truth hurts. What truth are you referring to? Because I mean I've agreed with a lot of the points he's made, and some of the stuff he said is gross and bothersome. So what are you saying? Fat women are ugly too, Ecliptic Sir? What is the truth that is hurting so bad in your opinion? So then Kiwi says Myron and Fresh are insecure about their own looks, if you haven't picked up on that. Well, to be honest, it's like I kind of have picked up on, like, what woman besides somebody who's, like, incredibly insecure would ever be attracted to these guys. I can understand why they're insecure, because it's kind of like you reap what you sow, William says the mentality is utterly vacuous. Both sides can't even take it. Yeah. I mean, it's annoying, but I feel it is some interesting points they've made in, like, a roundabout way. So Then Sonny says, there's a reason the Stanford Fit, Feminine, Beautiful, Inspirational has come about. I'm not sure what that is. The Stanford Fit. So then Thor says, I know guys who haven't and don't plan on having sex for years. When I put that in comparison to how I view myself, I wonder how hard some men have it. Most of my female friends have something lined up. Yeah, like I agree with that. Like it's really disturbing to me, like how just so many guys like haven't had sex in years and they're virgins, and some men have it like really bad. Like, and I do feel for them, and I don't feel it's good, and I don't feel it's healthy. But is this like the right way to change that? I don't know. Passionate Rebellion, thank you so much. And Passionate Rebellion, is this? Are you? This is you, Lamar, right? Because I think like your email was different, but just I'm pretty sure this is you, right? Just say yes or no below, because I think you're the guy who asked me to do this in the first place, but I could be like confusing you. Yeah. But if it is, okay, yes, it's you. Good. All right. Yes, Passion Rebellion. We have to thank. Here's the guy who spent a lot of time finding these timestamps for me to watch. So I was thinking I would just do this live reaction just to get myself to watch it, and then I would like be able to have like a better understanding to maybe make a video on it. But I'm glad you're here now. So let's continue on. Well, let me just read actually a couple more of these little comments here. So so then Ellen's Canadian says, kudos you for doing this. I don't know any woman that would even give this a try. Really? So no women watch the show? So then Gabe says, but Rude is hot though, right? That's a tough question. Rude is not always hot, but Rude can be hot in certain situations. So then Edward says, so is it the tone? Maybe. Ecliptic Sir says, you just don't like how he's saying it, not what he's saying. For the most part, yeah. So Ambassa says, a lot of it is probably for content, like you could say it in a nicer way, but it'd be less entertaining. Okay, that's fair, yeah, like, you know, you gotta be controversial and entertaining. You can't just be boring and like, you know, like you're sitting in a school and you're being all polite, yeah. So then, so Ambassa says he doesn't love all women. And then Jonathan Bryan says, I've been overweight since I was a kid. Even when I was in sports, I was overweight and it was okay and promoted when I was a lineman in football, but now it's like I have to worry about it. You don't, Jonathan. You don't. And I've heard that's pretty interesting. Like my boyfriend was telling me that many like overweight kids actually end up doing like really well in football when they have like a growth spurt. A lot of people, a lot of girls are going to be okay with overweight guys because they like that big, thick, like solid look. That reads as like masculine to them. That reads as like, you know, he's like a solid, strong guy. And a lot of times they prefer that to guys who are on the thinner side. So I'm not saying every girl that's going to be her type, but many girls, it will be their type. So don't worry about that. Anyway. Let's go on. Lucas says, the way Fresh and Fit express themselves is very obnoxious and their wording is triggering. The podcast was cringe. Yeah, Lucas, I agree with you. So Passionate Rebellion says, they're about to hit 1 million subs in 2 years. It's an astronomical rise. We have to see what the fuss is about and if they're helping men or not. Great point, Passionate Rebellion. Great point. You're right. And you guys are men, so let me know if like what they have so far and what they continue to say does feel helpful to you and does like help you out. Yeah. All right. Let's go on.
no, that if a girl is really a 10, she should have a high value man by her side and a ring and his last name.
Hold on. Costa Rica, go ahead.
What's up?
I know you got something to say. I can see it.
I don't even know where we're at anymore. I'm so deep into the conversation.
We're talking about women being delusional of their own self-worth.
Wow. Okay.
1 out of 10.
It's a complicated question because, like, to me, honestly, like we're all different. Everybody got a different mentality. I feel like confidence doesn't really have a lot to do with it in this day and age, in this world that we live in this social media based kind of concept that we have, like this world. It does have to do with numbers, 1s through 10s. So I think you have learned to categorize yourself in some sort of fucking number, whatever. But to be honest, like, everyone's different. Like, yes, like I said, confidence can be there. Confidence can be at the top of your game. I have confidence. I got confidence. I also know that I'm not top of the line. I know there's women way more beautiful than me, and I know we're all beautiful. But I know there's women with different features.
Not all.
Not all.
No.
But we can keep
Shut
going.
up. Shut up.
Yeah, it's
Anyway.
no, definitely, not all.
Nah,
Yeah,
okay, there's somebody for everybody. Anyways, like, you know, like, we all got, like, I don't know, dude. It's hard to explain. Like, everybody got their own form of rating themselves. Like, we all got a different fucking
and that's a problem,
checklist.
though. Yeah, but that's. But
why is that a problem, though? Like, y'all the niggas making the checklist.
Yeah.
So now we're going down the fucking line. Like, oh yeah,
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Like, I don't fuck. Like, what?
Here's the thing. When men say what they like in women or whatever, y'all want to be like, la 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 la. But then you guys want to go ahead and arbitrarily assign a number to yourself based off what you think a man finds attractive. Here's a cold hard reality. Your confidence, your ambition, how much money you earn, your alpha female persona, it's not really relevant. These are things you look for in a man, but men don't necessarily look for that in you. So women always make the mistake of thinking that attraction is symmetrical. It's not. It's asymmetrical. We look for different things in the opposite gender. For example, if I ran around and said, hey, I'm a really masculine man, but I want to wear a dress on Saturdays and go like this, you'd be like, what the fuck? You wouldn't take me seriously. But why do we have women run around saying, I'm an alpha bitch? Yeah, fuck, nigga. But you guys, like, why is masculinity for women accepted, but it's not accepted for men? Because men understand that they have to operate a certain way to get the opposite gender. Women don't, though. Yup, I'm going to act however I want. I'm a 10. I'm a queen. I'm not losing weight. I'm perfect, period, nigga. You should accept me the way I come. And the reality.
Okay. Well, I mean, I see now that I was kind of getting his point before. So he's basically saying that men and women have different standards for what they find attractive. Men like, let's say curvy but thin and, this kind of thing, whereas women want, confidence and rich. And it's like, women are always telling guys what they want, but then men are trying to tell women, oh, we don't like it when you act masculine. We don't like it when you act like you're an alpha bitch. We want you to be like submissive and we want you to lose weight and we want you to like, have big boobs or whatever and like a big butt. And you guys are like just going la, 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 la. And you're still sticking to this whole thing of, I'm a bad bitch. The only thing is, I mean, I think that's fair that men like different things in women. However, I do feel like he should kind of just like back out of it because it's like this whole bad bitch mentality. I don't think he really understands like what that does for women because, okay, he's not attracted to it, but that kind of mentality really like helps women. It helps them build their confidence. It helps them look good. So I don't really think he knows exactly what he's talking about because while on the surface it might not appear to be attractive, women do it for a reason. Like it helps them for a reason. So yeah, I think here comes my boyfriend. Anyway, what do you guys think about this part? So, Sunny Beach says men want fit, feminine, inspirational and submissive. Oh lordy. Oh lordy, lordy, lordy. Then enjoy life in battle and strife. Says you can't ask someone to be submissive. It's already too late at this point. Yes, enjoy life. I agree. It's just pretty lame if you're like begging someone to be submissive rather than inspiring someone to be submissive. Like, it's, to be honest, very weak. Oh, I wish you were more submissive. Okay, well, she's not going to be submissive for somebody like that. But yeah. So, Darth says, I don't like how impatient he is with women. Yeah, neither do I, Darth. So then, Mind Warlock says, it's helpful to the man if it makes him carefully consider what the woman brings to the relationship, especially if he is considering marrying her. Interesting, Mind Warlock. So, that's interesting. So, alright. Let's go on.
Reality is, no, they don't. And it's being shown right now with the marriage rates and the divorce rates and also the high single rates of a lot of women. So the reality is we're not attracted to the same thing. So you can sit there and be, I'm a 10, I'm confident, I'm ambitious, whatever. Men don't give a fuck about that shit a lot of the time. Are you attractive first? Are you feminine first? Are you submissive first? All that other shit comes in after the fact.
You gonna be submissive for the right nigga.
Oh, so you're conditionally submissive.
Because the thing about it is some niggas feel like because they make a lot of money, they could come in the house and treat you however.
Yes.
Because they just,
Yes.
So.
Well, if you're gonna pick and choose when you want to be a lady, I'm gonna pick and choose when I want to be a guy. I don't wear a dress on Saturdays.
We go back.
Okay. Well, she's just basically telling him like a basic fact of female attraction, which is that women aren't like universally submissive. Some of them, let's say, are going to want to be submissive to somebody who earns it or deserves it or who earns their respect. And he's just like, no, if you guys have to be like submissive to every guy or we're not going to be attracted to it. Yeah, I agree. Like if a woman acted all like submissive all the time, she's going to attract a lot of guys, but most women don't want all guys. They don't want the beta guys. They want the alpha guys. So him telling them to act more submissive, it kind of seems like a weird mind game to convince them to like, oh no, men want women to be submissive. So I'm just going to be submissive all the time and like be submissive for the betas and like let the betas in basically. So I don't know. It seems like he's kind of trying to like mind fuck them, but she's kind of saying, sorry, we're not attracted and we're not going to be submissive for every guy. So yeah.
Based off the nigga though. So if
I go based off the chick. You're super masculine, so how about I wear a dress on Saturdays and you wear jeans on Saturdays?
You're leading and I'm following. You're leading and I'm following. So you give me a good vibe, I'm gonna give you a good vibe.
But here's the problem though.
You treat me right, I'm gonna treat you right. You feel me?
Okay, let's use your logic. Let's say someone breaks into the house. You know what?
We shooting together.
Passionate Rebellion, thank you so much. He says, you make a great point. It's a mind game. What inspires a woman to be submissive? I mean, you gotta respect the guy. And you got, like, for example, my boyfriend. What inspires me to be submissive, and I'm not even that submissive, like, in the rest of our relationship, but, like, in the bedroom, let's just say that, he will, be, like, really over-the-top aggressive, like, in a role play way. Like, he'll just grab me and be like, you little bitch and everything, and he'll just, like, pretend like he's basically abusing me. Okay, and I just laugh, and I like it, because I find it funny, but also, it kinda just makes me feel like he has demonstrated his strength to a sufficient degree, and so now I can submit. So, it's kinda just, he's not literally abusing me. It's role play, it's fun, it's games, but he hypes, he amps up the aggression, the masculinity to an almost like extreme degree that most men would never take it to. Okay? Because most men, I was thinking about this. I'm like, most men think women are weak. So in order to be dominant, they don't have to do much. But actually, women are strong. And so for men to prove their dominance, they need to be much more strong than men realize. So that's one answer. But then, yeah, so, then there's all the things you guys are talking about, like being competent and, being someone she can respect, kind of like on a behavioral level, will cause them to be submissive. Being someone strong on kind of like a personality level. All these kinds of things. Yeah. So, what do you guys think the answers to that? So, a servant in Babylon says, yeah, because he asked to, because you aren't submissive day to day. Yeah, I'm not. So then Darth says, a woman is submissive when the man has proven to be honest, genuine, caring, just a good man who treats her right and who she admires and desires, but also who she can be vulnerable with. Yeah, and I mean, also, it depends what you mean by submissive. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's levels of submission. So there's basically her respecting him and being nice to him, like, kind of at the top. And then there's her, like, being like, yes, master, I will go make you a sandwich and, like, wear high heels in the kitchen on another level. So Ecliptic says, it's crazy that some women going to want a masculine man but don't want to be a submissive woman. Actually, it's not. It's actually a really common kink among women that weeds out, like I was saying, the beta guys. And it's actually a very common female mating strategy in the animal kingdom. Like, for example, rhinos, okay? Like, the guy has to beat the woman in, like, a fight in order to mate with her. And that's basically a lot of women's sexuality, human women's sexuality. It's like the guy has to out-masculine her. He has to prove he's stronger than she can be at her most masculine for her to want to submit, for her to need to submit. Because if she can handle everything he can bring on her own, why does she need to submit? He has to be more masculine than she is, basically. So you'll see, like, a lot of times, a really masculine, like, biker chick or whatever with, like, an even more masculine guy. Because he just has to be masculine enough for her. And, like, my boyfriend, for example, he really likes strong, kind of masculine women because he's really good at dominating and he doesn't feel threatened by a woman who's strong. He doesn't need somebody who's, like, all weak and submissive for him to feel comfortable dominating her because he's fucking amazing at being, like, a natural brat tamer. So he's not challenged or threatened by a woman acting masculine. And that's what a lot of you guys who complain about submissive women don't understand, is that a lot of men, not a lot, but the kind of men women want mostly aren't threatened by them being as masculine as they can be. So, does that make sense? Yeah. All right, let's go on here.
Look at you and say, hey, listen, man.
Wait.
I don't feel like being the man right now,
Can
right?
you shoot with those nails?
I'm gonna be masculine. Like, you got to go ahead and deal with the problem. You look at me like I'm crazy, right?
No.
See,
I know,
here's my
those
problem. Here's my thing. Here's my thing with modern day women. Y'all could pick and choose when you want to be ladies, but the man has to. He can never pick and choose when he wants
It's
to be a
not
man.
that. No, listen. It's not that we pick and choose. The thing about it is today, right? We making money too. Back in the days, we wasn't making no money. We was in the crib, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we making money. So you can't walk in and just treat us any type of way. You feel me? Because we bringing shit to the table too. Now, a bitch that's not bringing nothing to the table, you gonna be able to run over her. Like me, I'm very submissive. Like when I talk to a nigga, I cook for you. I cook, I clean, I do everything. You ain't got to worry about nothing.
Question.
Right?
Question for you, because I want to use let's use your logic back.
Okay.
Let's say I come to the relationship and I got like a amazing wardrobe clothes, a Miri this, Dior that, a 200 pair Jordan collection. What would you think of that?
That shit don't matter.
Thank you. Your money doesn't matter.
No,
See, hold on, whoa. Stop the show. That's the equivalent. That I need you to let that sink in for 2 seconds. When women say, I'm bringing money to the table in my career, that's like me telling you, I'm bringing my fashion, I'm bringing my drip. Yeah, I'm swagged out. It doesn't matter to you. Why? Because you don't benefit from me dressing well. I don't benefit from you having money necessarily. Because when women make money, it's their money. When I make money, it's our money. We don't look for the same things.
I feel like everybody mindset different because if you're dating somebody and y'all building together, right? Y'all building an empire. Y'all investing
Women
together.
don't build, they move in.
No, that's not true. You can't speak for everybody.
You want a nigga making $480K a year?
Listen, there's a lot of women that still to this day will not leave their parent house or leave their home until they are married.
Thank you. They move in.
No, they buy a house together. They buy a house together, and both of our names go into the mortgage, right?
You move in.
It's not moving in.
That's moving in, bro.
Whatever.
Yo, you want a guy that has a castle, $480K per year. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Like, your money is your money.
The reason why
Is that one guy fresh and fit? Because I feel like he's the only one talking. So is that guy Myron? He's fresh and fit? Because there's another guy, but he's like not saying much. All right. Yeah, I mean, I agree with his point that he's saying, which like he's been making for a long time, which is that, you know, a lot of women do think that like they have to be impressive to a guy. They have to have a good career. And, you know, it doesn't really matter to guys. So I agree that women, a lot of women, not all, don't necessarily understand that. And they assume that what's attractive to them is attractive to men. So, yeah, I feel like most women kind of learn that like pretty young, but it's a fair point. I don't see why he needs to like make it for so long or what's so important about making it, but what do you guys think? I'll just keep going.
my mindset is like that is because I don't talk to a guy that had less than me, right? And I never mistreated him. But as soon as that nigga came up on some money, he went after bitches that he couldn't afford.
He just proved
So
his point.
now,
Move in.
so now my mindset is I'm going to date somebody at my level or somebody that's higher.
You just proved his point.
All right, if you prove your point, then okay,
Yo,
yeah, you won.
Real quick, Chris.
You won.
Video real quick.
You won.
This is comical.
So we got a video, right? That explains perfectly what you just talked about with Donovan Sharp. Bring it up real quick.
Oh, you got play?
Fresh. The video is ready right now.
Right here.
2 seconds.
Oh my God.
Chris, come on, man.
Fresh. The video is being ready right now.
All right, let me just read this comment from Passionate Rebellion. So he says, this is good stuff. He has to be more masculine than her in order for her to fully respect him and demonstrate that. Yes, Passionate Rebellion, I think that is true. Like, you know, a lot of guys, they basically seem to only go for women who are like incredibly feminine, who are very overtly acting submissive, telegraphing their sexual interest. And that's fine. But the only problem with it is they leave out like a big chunk of women. And you guys are never going to get those women without being more masculine than her in order for them to fully respect him. And those women go for guys who are very confident in their masculinity. And that's kind of how I was. I mean, they have a term alpha submissive, which basically just means it's a girl who wants her guy to be stronger than her and to prove his strength. And a lot of women identify as alpha submissives. So, yeah, most women, I feel like, I mean, this dominant stuff is like more important, taking it a literal way for some women, like for me, because I'm very kinky. So I really like crave that masculinity from a guy. But like, I don't know. The thing that like Myron is doing on here, it's not masculine at all to me. I mean, it just comes off as like whining and complaining and trying to convince women that, they need to artificially weaken themselves so they can be with a guy like him who doesn't want to have to do anything dominant. He doesn't want to have to lift a finger. He doesn't want to have to engage in like witty repartee. He doesn't want to have to be physically aggressive. Like, it's not attractive. So, yeah. He just wants her to clap, clap, and submit, and on your knees, and be submissive at all times without him earning it. Oh no, it's just not going to do it for a lot of women. Definitely not for me. So, Darth says, but some men like the challenge. Yes, Darth, I agree. Some men like the challenge. Exactly. All right, let's continue here.
Being done with it right now. This nigga when he heals.
It's because they got to render it. That's why. All right. So how about this? I got a question for ladies while we wait for this video to come up.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna transition real quick. If you walk, okay, and you can actually size up a guy immediately. Oh, okay. All right. We'll play this video real fast.
Yep.
Can you give the background on this video real quick, Fresh or Chris or somebody?
Mo, you want to do it?
Go ahead, Mo.
This is from one of our mentors, Donovan Sharp. This is
Okay, Javi, thank you so much for the tip. He says, that is such a contradictory statement, though. You do realize that, right? Alpha submissive. I don't think it's contradictory at all, Javi, because that's like what I identify as sexually. So please explain in the comments below what is the contradiction that you see. Let me know. I mean, is it just that like you can't be alpha because alpha equals dominant and submissive at the same time? Because that's a misunderstanding, because a lot of women, like I kind of explained this to you guys or tried to in one of the videos I made about what women want. It's like if you read romance novels, what you will see is that every single woman in that, she's like a strong, fiery, spirited, passionate woman who doesn't like live by the rules. She's kind of dominant. She's not feminine. Do you know what I'm saying? She's not very feminine, really. She's more like a masculine tomboy. But she meets a guy who's like this uber masked guy. And so she's alpha, whatever that means, like for a woman. She's kind of like a masculine woman. But it's like in a woman's mind, it's like a masculine woman is never really like all that masculine because she wants that guy to still see her as she's all woman. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh yeah, that's so cute. She's trying to be all tough. She's trying to be all like strong, but like I'm so much stronger that I just see that as like adorable. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of women are into this. Yeah. So is that what you mean, Javi? Or Javi? All right.
explaining another dynamic between what the guy wants and what the woman wants.
Well said. Thanks, Mo. Let's
right.
go. At least Mo's on point.
Nigga, I know you're talking, man.
All right, cool. Let's go. Let's play this video.
I'm on your head top, boy.
Which one is it? Is
All right.
that one? Yeah, there you go.
Hey, will you make me a sandwich?
Your feet are working, aren't they?
Yeah. Okay, I'll go make it myself.
Wake up.
What is it?
I think somebody's downstairs.
Your feet work, don't they? Hey, will you make me a sandwich?
Hold on, it's echo. 1 second. Let me see if the audio. There we go.
That's hilarious.
I do it over Christian.
Oh man.
That was hilarious, bro. I saw that this morning. I was like, yo, that's definitely true.
Hey, will you make me a sandwich?
Your feet are working, aren't they?
Yeah. Okay, I'll go make it myself.
Sorry, guys. This is kind of like videos that they're playing.
What is it?
I think somebody's downstairs.
Okay, we'll
Your
just
feet work, don't
skip
they?
the videos.
He was, asking the girl to make him a sandwich. He's the one that was just gonna be hungry at the end of the day if he didn't get it. It's just something that he probably would have had to deal with. But with those two being in the bed and somebody might have been downstairs, robbing the place, and he said that, well, y'all both just gonna get killed. That shit don't benefit you either. But I can say that. But I can say, but look, I can say that though, right? Because my people in my family, I'm from Louisiana, they taught me how to use a gun. I ain't gotta wake up nobody on next to me to do what I gotta do. So that, for me, that's not the case for me. And also, I don't mind making a fucking sandwich.
So you're saying
but you can make a sandwich for me too.
You leave your man hungry without food.
Didn't I just say I don't? You didn't let me finish, did you? I don't mind
I see her logic
making
here.
a sandwich. I feel like we can both make sandwiches for each other if one doesn't feel like doing it. If you don't feel like doing it, of course I'll make you a fucking sandwich. But if I don't feel like doing it, make me one
hold
too.
on. He worked all day, came home.
Both work.
Hold on.
No,
He worked all day.
Fucking equal society, yeah.
No, we both work.
She ain't working. He worked
You
all
don't
day.
know what she
You don't know
doing.
what she
How you
doing.
know?
Well, okay, I see her
She don't
argument.
work.
Her argument is this, guys. I'm boiling it down.
Yeah.
Her argument is simply, by me making the sandwich, there's no mutual benefit. Only he benefits, and I have to put myself to work to a degree to get him a sandwich. Versus when they break into the house, we mutually benefit because you're protecting the both of us.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Good argument.
No, I can
Yeah.
do it myself.
But it's better. The man's more capable.
No, I don't need one. Is what I'm trying to tell
Women
you.
don't need a man.
No, it ain't that. It ain't that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I was taught to hunt. I'm a different. I'm a
Okay.
different case.
Here's the thing though. We can't base all our arguments or the podcast on your personal life. We're speaking in generalities here. So let me make sure I understand your argument correctly.
Mhm.
The sandwich only benefits the man. However,
No.
protecting. You literally just said that I'm not benefiting.
No,
from,
I'm saying the sandwich. If he's hungry or not, and the girl doesn't feel like doing it, what you know? What I'm saying, yeah, you're gonna be hungry.
I
if
see
you
what you're
if you
saying
don't
too,
get it.
Yeah, but
Come on,
that's what
bro.
you're trying to say is that
I don't
you
get this.
by you making the sandwich, he's benefiting. You're not necessarily benefiting, but him protecting both of y'all.
All right, that was kind of bad because we skipped this video and then I'm not totally following what she's saying yet. I feel like she's saying kind of like what I was saying, like, no, I'm a different kind of woman. Like I hunt and I, can take care of myself, but I'll make you a sandwich if so. I don't really know. What do you guys think she's saying? But Passionate Rebellion says, thoughts on this idea of men threatening not to perform their masculine duty if women aren't submissive. The red pill used this all the time. Very, very interesting, Passionate Rebellion. So, men threaten not to perform their masculine duty if women aren't submissive. Yeah. I mean, I find it really dumb for a guy to order a woman to be submissive. I don't know what woman that's going to work on. Because in a woman's head, she's just thinking it comes off as really weak because she's thinking a guy I would want to be submissive for is going to inspire submission. So when a guy just kind of stamps his foot and demands women be submissive, to be honest, it just telegraphs I cannot inspire submission in a woman and I need to resort to threats and demands, which is kind of not sexy to any woman. Because I'm saying, a woman wants to feel such great respect and admiration for a guy that she wants to basically let him mate with her because she wants his traits in her offspring. So this whole idea of well, well, if you don't act submissive, you know, I'm not going to be a man. It's just backwards because it's like, I don't know what woman you think is ever going to fall for it. Like, you know what I mean, guys? I kind of understand where it's coming from because, yeah, like it's a bit unfair that like men have to go first in a way. Men have to be masculine first in order to inspire submission. But it's like women are more in demand. And so they have the higher, you know, buying power or whatever. And men have to work to impress them. So, yeah, what do you guys think about that? Passionate Be What It Is 707. Thank you so much. If you're not mine, you're not mine. If you're mine, you're mine. That's consent. I'm gonna have to think about that one. Be what it is. So if you're not mine, you're not mine. If you are mine, you're mine. So are you saying that's kind of like blanket consent? That like if you guys are in a relationship, then he can have kind of like unconditional consent to do whatever he wants to a woman? Because I mean, that's like a sexy, kinky fantasy, but I wouldn't be trying that in real life because you're gonna get in big trouble and you're gonna cause a lot of pain and suffering. So it's sexy, but it's not realistic unless she agrees to it. Unless she agrees to unconditional consent, free use, which is a kink for some women, so maybe she will agree to it. What do you think, Be What It Is? And then Passionate Rebellion, thank you so much. He says, it comes off as I cannot inspire submission in a woman and I have to resort to anger and violence to make her submit. Brilliant take. Thank you for saying that, Passionate Rebellion. Yes, that's what it feels like. Like, so many guys have commented this in the comment section. Like, and it telegraphs I'm struggling. And, at this point, I'm kind of just desperately using all my last ditch attempts and pulling at straws here. You know what I'm saying? That's how it comes off. Because, yeah, like, guys who kind of like ooze this calm masculinity, women feel, oh, good, a guy I can submit with because they want to have submissive sex a lot of times because it's enjoyable for them, but they can only do it with a certain kind of guy who inspires it. So it's not something you have to demand. Like, if she wants it with you and you're giving off the right signals, she will want to, for like once in her life, have sex in a submissive way because a lot of guys just don't inspire it. Okay? So it's not something you have to throw tomatoes at her basically to get her to submit. Do you know what I'm saying? And just, well, women should be more submissive. Like my boyfriend once said, it's kind of like you're running a race and you're running a race with like a child and you tie one of their, what would be the analogy? Like, you like kick them in the leg before the race starts so they, run worse in the race so you can run faster. It's like, that's not a very manly, sportsmanly thing to do. It's like you should want women to be as masculine as they fucking can be because to you, it's not a threat. Because to you, it still seems like a girl trying to be a man and you're so much stronger and you're so much more masculine naturally than she could ever be trying to be a man. That's how women want you to be thinking. They want you to say, women want you to think, do your worst. Do your worst. Be as strong as you can be. Let it all out. Because you're not going to scare me. You're not going to move me. You're not going to threaten me. You're not going to make me feel like less of a man because I'm more than enough man for the both of us. That's the attitude that's attractive to women. 100%. So, yeah. So what do you think of that Passionate Rebellion? We got to give a big shout out to Passionate Rebellion for finding these clips and explaining to me the importance of why I should watch them and inspiring this live. So Eric says, if women aren't submissive, you just don't got it, bro. Like forgetting the beta and alpha terms for a bit. If they just don't pick up self-respect from you and masculinity, they ain't gonna respond good. 100%, Eric. 100%. Sonny says, there's a lot of untruthful things going on here. Feel free to disagree and state what you don't agree with. So he later says, if she's not submissive, don't deal with her, period. Move on. Well, that's a fine attitude. I'm just saying you're going to be dealing with a very small percentage of women, and you're going to be going for the same percentage of women that every single other guy who doesn't have much skills with women goes for. Those same women who are being super submissive, super feminine, and super telegraphing that they're into you, which unfortunately is not the majority of women. So a lot of guys just want to focus on those girls. Fine. I'm just saying you're not going to understand much about female psychology that way because those are a small minority of girls. Thanks, Jonathan. All right. So Alpha says, my girl is too submissive. It's like a little girl behaving to her father. Well, Alpha, that's going to be a problem if you're not a daddy dumb, because a lot of girls want to take it all the way. They basically identify as a little girl, as I've tried to tell you, DDLG, and they're going to want you to go like full on daddy dom on them. So yeah, that could be a problem if you don't. Some girls really want to be submissive. That's the thing. Like, what I feel like guys don't understand is like they really want to be fucking submissive, like so fucking bad, but they need you to earn it from them. Like, it's just stupid to try to like get it any other way. I don't know. All right, let's keep watching the live. All right, let's just keep going here.
You both benefit because there's a danger to both of you.
Yeah, he's gonna die too.
Okay, understandable.
You go back to sleep, be like, your feet don't work. You dead.
Yeah, but here's the thing. This goes back.
Don't make no sense.
This goes back to
not the same.
Well, here's the thing though. Gender roles are a thing. Like the woman's job. I know this sounds terrible and oppressive, but a woman's job is acts of service to her man. A man's job is to protect and provision for his woman. So that assumes that we're equal. We're not.
No, I'm not saying that.
A lot of girls being submissive, like if they want to be submissive, they will want to do acts of service for their man. That's not the only way a girl might want to be submissive. And yeah, it's just interesting that he said that. I agree. Some women definitely have that fantasy of doing acts of service for men, it's a service kink, in other words. Service submission. But there's a lot of other different kinds.
That we're equal, but as far as pay and everything, I feel like for one, neither party needs to be in a fucking relationship. If you really look at it, you don't need to have a partner. The man doesn't need to have a partner. The man doesn't need to be married. If you really look at it, and the woman nowadays, especially, the woman doesn't need to be in a relationship either. So if you decide to be in a relationship with somebody, man or female, then y'all both should be able to do, different things. This is it's not traditional no more. You know, women
and that's a problem though.
Point, women at a certain point, obviously needed to be in relationships to have certain things and to have access to certain things. But nowadays, that's not the case.
But my argument is, even though we have these modern conventions and women are capable of being by themselves, they still want a boyfriend or they still want a husband. They still want to get married.
Yeah, that's a problem. I don't know. It's a problem to me. I don't
Okay,
get
that's
it.
a problem. But here's, once again, we can't base the entire
know,
world
of
around
course,
you
of
because you
course.
keep making arguments based on
I'm
yourself.
not making art. Look,
Like, you're an exception to the rule. Fantastic.
I
But
know
most
it's
women
not a
don't think the way you
fantastic
do.
thing. It's just who I am. I mean, I can only speak from my goddamn experience. I
He's
can't
talking
speak for
about in
someone else.
generalities, so
We're speaking in general.
Yeah. Like
Okay,
that.
well, I can't. I can only speak from how I feel.
What is the
And
argument?
that's the difference between men and women. We're able to take our feelings out of it, have an objective conversation based on logic and fact and how the world really works, versus you keep attributing every experience back to yourself.
But I feel like
Yeah.
that's because men weren't.
Okay, that's really fucking annoying. Like, this guy, Myron, he's obviously incredibly emotional this whole time. I don't know whether it's coming from insecurity or he's just being emotional to promote his podcast, but then to just say that, oh, that's the difference between men and women. Women cannot make an argument that isn't emotional, whereas men can. Like, why is he just so rude and obnoxious to his guests? I don't know. I feel bad for this girl. It's just really annoying, but we'll keep going.
Raised to be emotional. That's why you guys act in the way.
I was
that you
so
act.
backwards. I don't know what just happened there.
Yeah, like
She just said emotional. and
No,
you
because he
No,
said
no,
men
based
don't
off
think
of-
with their feelings. We think about logic and whatever else he said.
If you talk,
And he's valid because
if you
men
think
weren't
about it,
raised to show emotion or to think with emotion.
Hold on. If you think about it, though, what I just said wasn't based off of my emotions. It was based off of just freaking facts. You don't need to have a man. Men don't need to have women to be in relationships or to survive and succeed. You don't need that. That's facts. It is based off of emotion as to why men want to be in a relationship. It is based off of emotion as to why women want a relationship. Me, it ain't how I feel. It's just how I am. Just like how men are naturally, just like how women are naturally.
But in reality,
It's not based off of
men
my
want women
feelings.
and women want men.
Are you guys understanding like her point exactly? I don't really understand exactly what she's getting at, but I agree with her that it's not just based on emotions and not relevant, like, but I don't really understand what she's saying, so let me know if you guys understand.
So that's a good
You
point.
literally said I feel
But
like
reality
it, but
is
okay.
like it's gonna happen regardless.
Yeah.
I said feel, but that was just, based off of facts. That was piggybacking off of facts.
But it's
So-
attributed back to yourself, which you've already explained is you're an exception to the rule. So it's not facts.
Oh my god.
No, the facts is that you don't need to be in a relationship. That's what I called as facts. I'm not saying that my personal feelings or opinions were the facts.
You don't need to be, but women want to be.
So do men.
Women overwhelmingly are the ones that want to be in a relationship and get married.
Also, did y'all also know that one reason why women probably are single and a lot of men, that a lot of men aren't?
Yeah,
is
I don't
because
understand
it's
her
a lot
point at all
more
either, but
men in the world.
she's
than
saying
there
her
are
POV
women
is just
in
as
the
valid.
world.
as
No,
I'm
no,
saying. Yeah, I
Actually
agree.
incorrect. There's more
Opposite.
women than there are men.
No,
Her
I'm so
point
sorry.
is valid.
Yeah.
They're
I'll
trying
give
to
her-
like
there's a lot
tell her
more.
it's not, which
There's
is
a lot more
stupid.
women in the world than there are men.
Yeah.
So of course that automatically just statistically.
That's irrelevant. I mean, that's irrelevant because
not
women don't.
irrelevant.
It is irrelevant, and the reason why is because most women don't see most men. Most men are literally invisible to most women.
And there's selectors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can make that argument,
If
but
I
it doesn't
had-
change anything.
Okay, so just saying, if I had like 5, so if there was just 5 women in the world, right, and there was only 2 men, how in the world would that be irrelevant to as far as these 5 women trying to get in a relationship with these 2 men that only exist?
Because we have billions versus
Yeah,
just 2.
But there's
Yeah.
not.
No,
though.
I'm saying no.
It doesn't
just-
force
Yeah, I
it.
know.
Yeah.
It's really annoying.
I don't get it. So if everybody matched up, right? Everybody was able to match up with a partner. It's going to be a lot of more women without one. You know what I'm saying? So how is that irrelevant is what I'm trying to ask. I don't get
Are
it.
you aware of the fact that there's a minority of men that have sex with the majority of the women?
What?
There is a
Oh, God.
minority of the men
That's actually pretty
that
funny.
have sex with the majority of the women. In other words, a lot of guys are sexless and or virgins.
Okay.
So based on that fact, I know that most women don't see men as suitable candidates for some type of sexuality.
Will they stay virgins? How old are these men?
Like, I'm laughing because I actually do find this a bit funny. Like, because I agree that most women do not know this, that most women do not even see the majority of men who are struggling with women. I've talked about this a lot, like on my channel, in the blind spot video, especially. Definitely a female blind spot, so it's kind of funny to hear her just be like, what? Like, what are you talking about? So this is getting pretty good right now.
That you're talking about.
Oh,
Between 18 to 30, we know that 1/3 of men are
Okay, so
either
by the
virgins
time
or
they
haven't had
turn-
sex in a year.
All right,
Yeah.
so by the time they turn 31, then they had.
You're missing the bigger picture here that women are far more selective sexually than men are. So therefore, a lot of guys are ostracized from the sexual marketplace. You're looking at it through a female lens. It's easy for you to get sex, but it's not easy for a man to get sex unless they become a somebody.
Think about how many guys you kind of reject when you see like walking the street on Instagram. Many guys, and most guys don't measure up to what you want. So off of that alone, you know most guys are not getting laid for the most part.
I don't know.
She didn't know that.
No, I didn't know. I didn't know
You
that.
didn't know that because you wouldn't have made that argument earlier.
I would have
if you knew that. That the numbers just don't match up. That there's way more
more women than men. So,
but it doesn't matter because women virtually most men are invisible to most women. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
I wanted
Yeah,
to
go
use
ahead.
this as an analogy like 15 minutes ago, like back to that with
Yeah.
men and women and all that. Like,
Yeah.
just look at our DMs. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's pretty like universal to all of us on the panel right now. Like, how many men do you kind of curve or, just say, but how many men are you actively trying to pursue? I think that's the point they're trying to make is that women generally have a way easier time of getting people in bed, like that's just how it is. And so I realized that like, just go through your DMs and it's pretty like transparent.
There you go.
yeah, men fuck who they can. Women fuck who they want.
Right.
Yeah. No, it's not something that it's not something that I'm not understanding.
So
I
then,
get it,
so then you know.
Yeah, I understand.
So what's the
yeah.
argument?
The argument is the fact that there are more women than there are men.
Nah, because like they say it all the time. Like, dude, I was an average man at once. Like, it's very hard. It's very hard to have sex with women. Like, it's fucking hard. Like, it's
still
very
hard.
hard. I don't think you get it. Myron's right, but like,
We ask for so little, and like you guys can't even reciprocate.
dude, like yesterday I was filming a video. I was trying to go up to this girl with a dog. She just totally.
It's pretty interesting what that girl said is like we ask for so little and you guys can't even meet that. That is pretty interesting because that is like what most women think. They kind of feel like, why can't men even like do the bare minimum? Like to women, it just seems like men are so crazy sometimes. Like if on TikTok someone say, "Are men okay?" Because it's kind of like, why don't they understand that some of the things they do are just so stupid and such a turnoff? And so it's interesting. It is really interesting how women think, oh, if only men just acted right. But the thing is, no man, unless they're like a natural or really understands women the way women think, it would be easy for men to understand. And that was like a mind-blowing fact to me too, because I'm like, I used to think that the same way. I'm just like, why is it hard? Like it's hard to attract a woman? It's really not hard. Just don't be creepy. Just don't be like all weak and insecure. Just don't be like staring at her breasts in like this leering manner. Like just don't treat us like, just ask questions, like all these basic things. But I mean, I think it's more than just that. It's kind of like this calm confidence that comes from doing well with women. And the fact is, like, for whatever reason, most men don't have it. And that's what I'm trying to teach you guys on this channel. I'm not sure I do such a great job, but I tried to at least give some tips and advice. But it is pretty fascinating. And I used to be the same way. I used to not, I used to meet, it's like, I saw a guy's profile and I thought he looked like he would be a good guy, right? But then as soon as I met him on the date, within like 5 minutes, I just realized, oh my gosh, this guy's like cowering in fear. Like, there's no chance. I can never go home with him. Like, I can never date him. And so I would just reject him, and then it was out of sight, out of mind. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's impossible to find a boyfriend. And then my friends were like, yeah, what about all those guys you rejected? I was like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about those guys. Yeah. Yeah. You're right. I guess they did want to be my boyfriend. But I like didn't give him a second thought. So yeah, this is a huge blind spot. I admit 100%. I do think it's an important thing to point out to women. And since I've understood this, I've tried to point this out to like my sisters and stuff, and they have the same blind spot. They're like, what are you talking about? Men don't need help with women and stuff. I'm just like, oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. You're like so blind. So yeah. All right. Let's keep listening.
Really curved me. Like it's very like I can only imagine like
I
a
wonder how you
regular guy.
approached it.
Oh, no, I was just doing it for a video. I don't really give a shit about the chick, but like, I just wanted to make a joke about it. But like you even tell in Miami, it's fucking hard. Like, no girl. I mean, like,
It's
you
tough
gotta
out
have
here, man.
you literally have
In
to have a
general.
section.
Well, then,
You have to have a section or chains on, or you gotta have.
Cuban
some sort
chains
of-
on, nigga.
It's
I mean,
just
barely,
like,
though.
straight up.
That
That's
shit
y'all
is
and
game.
that's not something to
corny
blame
to
of
me.
women. Like even
Y'all don't
Myron
even
and
have
Fresh.
game
What's that?
verbally anymore.
That doesn't matter because
But it does.
it does not matter.
No, it's
You
not
made a
matter.
really
That-
good point.
you do realize you just made our argument even better by saying y'all don't even have game anymore.
Verbally. Not even
That-
verbally.
But that proves my point.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
We get
Thank
curved
you.
before we
That
get
just all you
Oh,
did
yeah,
was
it does,
cement
yeah.
that there's another prerequisite needed
What,
to
that
attract
y'all
me.
suck?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, most
what
men suck
fault
a game.
is that?
For
Yeah,
sure.
you suck the game.
Whose
You
fault is that?
It's not
you
game.
guys made it believe
y'all coming
that
at
y'all
us
need
because
money
y'all-
for us to like.
It's
y'all
no,
making
not
y'all
at
do that
all.
shit.
One mic,
Like,
one mic, one mic, one mic.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Cousin
Jay.
Jay.
I got y'all.
Thank you, man.
One mic.
I think
You're missing
yeah.
the point that you don't need game versus we do. We can have the
Correct.
money
Okay,
and not
if
have
that's
game
the
and
case-
still take a L. You don't need anything and you can get the guy.
Yeah,
Do you
bam.
not see the logic here?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I agree sexually, but that's not what most women want. But I mean, sexually, 100%.
So
what's the argument? Let's move on.
we're gonna move on,
Let's
bro.
move on because
We're gonna
this is
move
going
on.
nowhere fast.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right, yeah, let's read y'all 20 up now.
Yeah, we're gonna read 20 and up.
Cool. And we'll do Andrew Tate video.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? I'll read these, then we'll move transition to the next topic. Okay. Question for the 304 Avengers. What is the best ethnicity that you have ever smashed? No cap.
Real quick. White, black, Asian, Chinese,
Haitians.
Haitian.
Yeah.
Hispanic and black.
Okay.
I think that question was for us.
Yeah.
I
No,
heard
girls,
Avengers, I thought
Oh,
girls.
it's for the girls?
Yeah.
Okay.
Asian.
Haitian.
Damn. What the fuck?
Cajun.
Cajun.
Yeah.
Cajun boil.
I like my Hispanic.
Hispanic. Okay.
Hispanics.
Cool.
Okay.
Celine.
For me,
Yeah.
I love blonde chicks. I fucking think they're hot as shit.
There you go.
And they're bad as
Cousin
fuck.
Jay on the couch.
I love all women.
Good answer.
He's capping.
I've only had experience with white girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
White
White
girl?
women are amazing, bro.
White girls.
All right.
Go on.
Mr. Savage goes for Salim. Y'all should collab. What My House is Dirty. The pranksters there in Miami right now would be lit.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, they're funny as fuck. I like them.
Berserker mode. What's up, Myron and Fresh? So, ladies, I'm doing an experiment. Let's say you go on a date. It went well. So, going back to the guy place, he's driving a Mercedes E53 and driving fast. Will that get your pum pum wet? All right. Seto Kaiba goes cotton candy face as Super Saiyan blue face as blue clues face as Swiffer the better cleaner upper face as blue hair white dragon face as your hair at the berries from Wonka factory face as too easy. You have anything you want to say back to Seto Kaiba?
You know. What do you look like?
Well, he's a duelist.
He's a duelist. What that mean? Let me look at him.
Right. That's fun. He uses cards to duel people.
He's a duelist? Oh, we
Yeah.
can duel. I'll definitely post you up for that.
Hey, don't worry, got you ready?
Yeah, that's the nigga talking shit right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
That's him.
Yeah, that's it right here.
That's him.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's it.
You don't even have your own picture up there.
No.
No, that's it.
because it's like they're just looking at some.
Nice guys. All of you belong in the smash only bin. Anyone have a rebuttal to that?
Wow.
Okay.
I didn't. I mean, I didn't say I was dating. I ain't got no preference for that. I fuck who I want.
Wait, what? English?
I said I had no preference about anything about as far as dating. I'm not dating. I'm just fucking who I want.
Fantastic. All right. We got who's up next here? $50. Yo, Salim, Dallas is lit. When you visit, let the team know FNF Dallas. All right, cool. And then all right. So ladies, I got a question for you guys. Chris, I'll get back to it after.
No problem.
How many more do we have left?
We have a couple more.
All right, guys, from this point forward, I'm only going to read 50 and up. Thank you guys so much for the support. Every single super chat is going to be shown on screen, however, whether it's $2 all the way up to whatever it may be, $48, $9, $49. Everything's going to be shown on screen. We just want to make sure that I push through. And we got 11,000 plus y'all in here, almost 12,000. Guys, do me a favor and like the goddamn show, please. And like the goddamn. And every single guy that walked by you, you were able to see his traits stamped on his forehead. What were the 2 traits you would want stamped on his forehead so you would know what you're getting yourself into if you talk to the guy?
And for example, successful is one trait, faithful,
maybe his net worth,
good looking.
So give us 2 things that you would want on his forehead when you're walking around in the world selecting a guy. So he comes up to you at the club and he walks up to you, or maybe you're walking down the street, or you're at Barnes and Noble, whatever it may be, 2 things stamped on the top of his head. What are those 2 traits that you want to see up front?
Question.
And we'll start right here, Ms. 480.
Start over there.
No, I mean, we already know one of them, right?
Because I would like, I'm gonna be honest.
You don't have to say why. Just say what it is. Just say what it is. 2 things.
I really want to know if a nigga is a cheater.
Okay, so faithfulness, and then what's the other thing?
And another thing is, I want to know if he has a vision. Like, cause somebody,
ambitious.
Yeah.
That just means money.
Faithful.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah, cause you could be broke today. You could have a vision, and you could be.
Okay, I think that was really annoying that they all just said, "Oh, you just mean money." Because I agree with her. It's more like the behavioral trait. It's like the gene, basically, that she wants her offspring to have for being able to follow through on a vision. In other words, the trait of being able to make money, but not that he's just rich. So it's obnoxious when they just like cut him off like this, but whatever.
It could get there, but
most of the time, probably not. I mean, like, girls are not really gonna give a shit.
Next.
I mean, we've already proven that you move in. So, okay. So, what about you? What are the 2 things you want on the forehead?
I say loyalty and
So like Mr. Magic says, what's the difference? Well, okay, a guy could win the lottery and be rich, right? Or he could like inherit some money and be rich, but you wouldn't have the basically gene of being able to make money from nothing. That's attractive. That's kind of like competence, you might say. That's kind of like ambition, you might say. It's deeper than just having the money. It's being able to create the money. That's what's attractive, not just like the money. And some girls, of course, are just going to go for the money, but they're kind of like denying, I feel like, their deep like evolutionary needs for like a high quality guy. But yeah.
ambition.
Define the loyalty for us real quick.
Loyalty as in need to make sure he's gonna be faithful to me.
Okay. Sexual fidelity.
Okay. Faithful.
Like, how annoying is that she literally said loyalty and he's like, let me translate for you, sexual fidelity. It's like, bro, way to like mansplain it. You know what I'm saying? Like, she literally just said loyalty. That's what loyalty means. You don't need to like translate for her, but all right.
He needs to stay faithful to me.
Okay.
Loyalty.
That's the same exact thing.
I just need to make sure that he's there for me, make sure he's going to take care of me.
Okay. So loyalty and I guess
Yeah,
going to take care of you.
exactly.
Okay.
Sam Wallace art.
Respect and sense of humor.
All right. What about you?
Do you have a high sex drive and are you not stupid?
All right. So intelligence and sex drive. What about you?
Probably passionate
And game?
and no.
Well, you complained about it earlier. So.
Oh my god.
Passionate and
No,
Hispanic.
I would have said loyal too, just for the fact that like I want someone that's got my back, like someone that I can call my friend.
Okay, real quick, the loyalty. Are we talking about sexual fidelity or him taking care of you?
No, because I'm an open book in that department. So I'm not talking about sexual fidelity because
Okay.
like if that's the case, then I don't know, like that comes hand in hand. Like if you're
We'll
getting
define
in a
the loyalty
relationship.
because a lot of people define it differently. So do you mean as in you're
Well,
his main chick?
I mean someone that's got my back.
Okay.
Loyal. Like
All right.
someone that's got your back,
So you don't
someone
care
that I
if
can
he fucks other
count
chicks?
on. If that's where we're at, then no.
Okay.
I don't.
So loyalty, just caring about you and what.
All right, let me read this. Passionate rebellion. This is the point. Myron thinks men don't show loyalty by showing sexual fidelity, but by resource fidelity or taking care of you. Okay, interesting. All right, thank you for pointing this out. So basically, he's saying sexual fidelity is different than resource fidelity. So, like, a guy could take care of you and, like, pay for stuff, but he should still be able to sleep with whoever he wants, basically. Is that kind of like what he's saying? So it's like, it's two separate things. Like, you can want him to take care of you, or you can want him to be monogamous with you. Okay, interesting.
What was the second one?
Passionate.
Okay. What about you?
I would say loyalty and like drive, like ambition.
Okay, your loyalty, is that also sexual fidelity? Or do you not care about that
It's
as much?
all of the above, like sexual and the way he treats me.
Goodbye, Darth.
like,
Thank you
the
for
way
your
it's like everything that
comments.
anything that you would consider loyalty, that's what I consider loyalty. Like everything that fits in the book, that's loyalty to me.
All right. Cool. All right, so we got a clip to play here, and this clip is from the show Grilling, guys, and Andrew Tate was a guest on this show.
Okay, yeah, so I mean, I think that's kind of weird, like what he's hinting at. I mean, I guess he's trying to say, ladies, like you should let men sleep with multiple women as long as they provide for you. Like that should be enough for you. So I feel like what I'm kind of getting from this show is, they're trying to speak up for kind of like male sexuality. I feel like it's kind of like what Andrew Tate, I feel like, is doing as well. It's like they're trying to say, listen, we've kind of been monogamous for you for too long. Now we want our best life, which is we want to kind of like own you and we'll pay for you as long as you're submissive and as long as we get to sleep around. And they kind of want women to like agree to it. Like, am I, getting that right? Like passionate rebellion, like, is that kind of like what they're getting at? Because I feel like they're kind of trying to explain to women, this is what men feel and this is what men have kind of hidden from you for a long time. And because, we're kind of like desperate for sex and like desperate to be with you for sex. But like in reality, we want our best life too. We want to honor like male sexuality or whatever. And I respect that. I mean, he's really annoying to me, but like I kind of respect it. I don't like how they're kind of trying to almost like brainwash women into accepting it, but I do feel it's a very fair point that maybe men want their sexual freedom and women should have their sexual freedom too. And maybe that's best for both genders. Something like that, but yeah. All right, let's keep watching.
Legendary Top G.
And this is actually a pretty funny clip. So
shout out to Cheyenne and also Andrew Tate.
All right, so we're gonna play this clip here.
We should go on the show too. You ready?
Nah, bro, I don't want to go.
Oh, we just hold on, real quick.
Oh, look, we got Andrew Tate on how to be high value. This should be interesting. But then Passionate Rebellion says, You're reading them exactly right, and it is very appealing to men, especially those who struggle with women. Also, I have no skin in the game. I think Myron is far too rigid on many of his theories. Okay, cool, Passionate Rebellion. I'm glad I'm kind of picking up what they're putting down here. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not totally opposed to what they're doing or anything like that, so we'll see. We'll see. I'll keep watching. But so you're saying it's very appealing to men, especially those who struggle with women. So why do you think it's like appealing to men who struggle with women, in particular, Passionate Rebellion? And then Sam Wallace-Art says, guys who talk like this are terrible conversationalists. If you're talking louder than everyone else and refusing to actually hear what anyone's saying, you're not learning and you're not teaching. Well, Sam Wallace-Art, I could not agree with you more. And I agreed with your comment earlier about, like, it's so annoying when you say a word and they try to use the thesaurus word and make it seem like they've restated your point better than you could ever have said it yourself. Super annoying, 100%. Very obnoxious, but you know, probably gets people angry, gets people commenting, gets people talking, gets people worked up. So it's good for engagement, as they say. All right, let's see what Andrew Tate has to say.
We buy a ticket, right? We go to the airport, fly to UK, do the show, come back.
No.
It's that simple.
You could go, bro. I don't want to go.
Man.
All right.
Yes.
Let's go ahead. Let's. You do it, bro. You'll be a better candidate anyway.
Mr. Producer.
Yeah. All right.
Mr. Producer.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
How can you be high value? 50 minutes up.
Oh, God.
I've just been single for a long time.
No, unacceptable.
Why is it unacceptable?
Haram. A body count is probably the number one easiest way to judge the value of a female. I actually think that 90. No. I'm going to say this.
This should be good.
I think 99% of the world's problems, and no one's going to understand this, but if you can extrapolate, if you can listen to this statement and extrapolate it out towards society at large, I think 99% of the world's problems would be solved if females walked through life with their body count on their forehead. Because it would prevent all of the disintegration of morals. It would prevent so many things about the world.
But you know, there's like
and women would be like, to be with me as a man, I don't want to put another number on my forehead. You have to be a good man. They wouldn't stop fucking these idiots and stop being idiots. And all the idiocy would disappear. All the degeneracy would disappear. Families would return. Virgins meeting their first man, staying with him her whole life and being proud of it. Couldn't we go back to such a beautiful age? All we have to do is start putting numbers on girls' foreheads. We could fix everything.
To be honest, I'm actually for this idea because as a woman, it will help you avoid sex negative guys who want to shame you and control your sexual freedom, who want sexual freedom but won't allow you to ever experience sexual freedom on your own. So I actually would love that. It would probably solve a lot of slut shaming because the slut shamers could sadly get with, you know, women raised in purity culture, and everyone else could just enjoy fucking with people who are sex positive.
I love the way how you just ignore that bit.
All right, so
ladies.
moving on. So we'll go ahead and ladies.
What's your reaction to that?
Yeah, what's your thoughts on that? We can start. Where did we start last time? We started here, right? So we're gonna start with you next time.
That just started with me.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, then Rain, go ahead.
I mean,
That's loyalty right there.
Boom.
yeah, but if we're gonna do that for women, we should do it for men also.
Yeah.
Like the way he just said it would solve a lot of issues, it would.
Really?
If men had their body count on their forehead and so did women, people will become a lot more self-conscious of their body count.
So you
'cause
care
everybody
about
can see it.
a man's body count?
I don't give a fuck about a
So
man's
what the
body
fuck
count.
should it
I'm
say?
not having sex with you. No, what he just said, what he said in the video was that it would solve a lot of issues. It would for people in society. For me, I personally don't give a fuck. But we're not talking about me. We're talking about society, right? So therefore, if everybody had their body count on their forehead, a lot of people would become more self-conscious about their body count, and body counts will be lower. It wouldn't be a discussion.
We'll come back to that.
Some people don't give a fuck. You don't
I don't give a fuck.
Shut
I'm
up.
not fucking your body counts. I'm fucking
Real
you.
quick, with raising
mine would be higher. If my body count was on my forehead, I'd be like ashamed that it's only in like the double digits, and I'd be like, fucking hell, I gotta like increase my body count. So if I was single.
Hands. Does a man's body count disqualify him from fucking with you, ladies? Raise your hand if it's a yes.
I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna bother me because I'm gonna feel like you zest.
Are you gonna still fuck with him though?
No.
Oh, you,
Like,
you
if-
won't.
Yeah,
no,
you will.
if I no,
Okay.
I promise.
Yeah, you will.
Stop
Yeah,
it.
you
No,
will.
I won't. No, I
Okay.
won't.
So she's
fuck
saying
with
no.
fuck niggas,
This
man.
is my opinion though. This is my
Okay.
opinion. Like if somebody come out and they acting, see, this is what I be talking about, fuck nigga, right? Because they come out and they act like they so loyal. They don't be real with you. They don't be like, you know what? You feel me?
I'm this.
I'm this and I'm that. They not gonna say I'm this and
Hold
I'm
on.
that.
Let's say Moneybag Yo pulls up on you and says, "Oh, I want you."
He
high
can't
body-
get
hold on, hold
no.
on. He got high body count. What you gonna say? No.
I don't want him.
Future.
I definitely don't want him.
Drake.
Like, listen.
Drake.
No.
LeBron James.
No. Listen.
You would.
Who do you
That's
like?
Cap, man.
All
do you
right,
like?
how much you want to bet?
Someone give me one of those cap hats, bro.
There you go, brother.
You okay?
That's crazy. You can't speak for everybody though. You feel me? You can't. You really can't. I can only speak for myself.
What?
That's crazy. Look at
He's got both.
I'm really self-conscious about my hair.
Sorry, my
Yeah, I
hair
know.
is too long.
Yeah.
Love that.
Okay, so basically only one girl here cares about the guy's body count, but the rest of you don't necessarily care.
That's
Okay.
my thing though. Like if you know a nigga like he just be outside. Okay, I was raised with my mother and my father all my life. So I really look into relationships. Like I really want to be with somebody. When I start talking to somebody, I really get ghosts on people. You feel me? That's just me. I don't want to deal with somebody that is like you there. Like no, because you don't touch so many pussy. You gonna get my pussy or whatever. It's gonna be good for the moment. You gonna get bored. You probably gonna want to move on, or I don't know. That's just how I feel. I want a nigga that's like kind of like how Russell is. Like you see how Russell is. They call him cheesy. They call him cheesy and shit, but he a real ass nigga because he don't care. Hey, let me say something. Put one more hat on. I'm gonna knock your ass out.
That's the politically correct answer.
That would be a okay. Anyway.
Okay. What about you? What's on the video? Is it realistic? Is it not?
It's
Good idea,
it's
bad
fair.
idea?
It's fair. It's not, like she said that, like I feel like it have to have the men's body counts too. Like the fuck, like how you only gonna fucking stamp a woman's body count on their fucking forehead and y'all ain't gonna credit for what the fuck y'all got going on.
Remember,
Like-
we mentioned earlier the stamp of like 2 traits that you want in a man.
Oh, so it's y'all. So my traits versus my stamps, like my traits that I want in a man.
Versus your body count.
Did you just say it was an open thing for you?
No, yeah, what the sex?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's an open thing. Who cares? The point is, if you're gonna be with somebody and they got traits, like that's a higher quality than a body count. Like that's a much higher quality.
That's such a female response, but fantastic. We'll continue on. Let's continue
Well, I'm
on.
a fucking female.
No, but it's great though. It's great. It goes to show how different men and women
What you
are.
look for what guys will look for.
Yeah.
Basically.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's different.
You said it yourselves. Me.
Can you do me a favor? Take some shit off your
Oh, you were lying all over the place, bro. That shit crazy.
How was it?
Yeah, all right, go ahead.
So we're all adults, right? We grown.
Mhm.
Who the fuck is still counting? I'm so confused.
A lot of men.
Give a fuck about that. Like, why
I'm not
do
gonna
you
ask
care?
you, but I don't want to be with somebody that's all over the place.
I'm like,
Go ahead.
but who cares? Like, if they're with you, they're with you. Who gives?
So for anybody who's just coming in, this is what I'm listening to. It is Fresh and Fit podcast, but they're actually responding to a video by Tate saying like if women had their body count written on their forehead, like the world would be a better place because, virtuous women would come back. So yeah. I don't know. I don't feel like they're saying much, but I guess this is kind of like advancing one point in like the male sexuality platform of like, we demand virginity, we demand like loyalty and faithfulness and stuff like that. So yeah, a lot of men want that. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? Like they want their sexual freedom, but they want to deny women theirs. I find it kind of lame. So then Marchu says, why do you think men want that? It's a good question, Marchu. Like, what's your opinion on that? And anyone else in the comments, like, I'd be really curious. Like, I could maybe just have some thoughts on it, but what do you guys think? Because you're men. Yeah. And then Mbasa says, I think a lot of guys get performance anxiety, so being with a woman who's experienced may exacerbate that if they aren't experienced themselves. Yeah, that's a great point. And I kind of feel that as well. Like, they feel like they're never going to compare or like measure up to some of the guys women have been with who are like so good when they have had like so little experience. And so they just feel like, well, if she's had no experience, then she won't have anyone to compare me to. And she won't know if I'm bad. Like, does that resonate, Ambasa? Yeah. So it's interesting. It's interesting.
The shit about who they went through before. Why y'all doing that rush shit? I'm serious. Like, I personally don't.
Yes, the alpha widow. Exactly. Like, I feel like guys are like, they live in fear of like the alpha widow who's been with some super alpha, like masculine dominant guy who's like incredible in bed and rock their world, and now they can never go back, and they're just gonna kind of like laugh at you or something because you just don't compare. But I mean, personally, at first I thought it was kind of funny, but then I'm like, you know what, maybe that's right, because like, for example, my boyfriend, he's so good in bed that I was kind of thinking, like, if I were to just sleep with another guy, like, how really could it compare? But the thing is, I feel like I would be able to teach him. Like, I would be able to bring it out of him. And I would like appreciate what he brings to the table, but he would have to be kind of like open to suggestion, I guess. And maybe that's kind of hard for men to feel like masculine and dominant and feel like, you know, they're not in control. They don't know what they're doing. So I could see why maybe it's a bit challenging to kind of both be expected to perform like that, but not actually know as much. I don't know.
Don't give a damn.
I'm not gonna ask a nigga about his body count. I never asked.
It's a good chance they don't even know.
I never asked.
Because if you ask me, I don't know.
Let her finish.
You know
It's
what
her
I'm
turn.
saying?
All right, go ahead.
No, like,
Yeah, you're gonna get your chance. Don't worry.
It's a very good chance. Like, unless it's low, that you probably don't even know what the hell your body count is. You know, if you're being honest.
Yeah.
You know, because if you ask me, I wouldn't freaking know. I've been stopped counting. Like,
all right,
been stopped.
Okay, so for you, it doesn't matter. So it's for the man and on your own.
And yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So it's irrelevant to you. Period. All right.
Kind of going off of that, I feel like
March.
it's something that if it wants to be brought up, it is brought up. And if you're together, like, seriously, that's something you should talk about. And that's to each person to interpret. But like, if you're just hooking up with somebody, I don't care. I would never ask a guy straight up what his body count is. And I would expect that from him as well. That might be like taboo to say on the show, but that's just how I am. Like, genuinely, I don't care as long as I think that you're a decent human and you're not going to give me some crazy shit. Like, I'm not going to dive into your past for real.
Okay. And you could be honest about this. Would it, you know what? I'll wait until everybody goes. Go ahead.
I mean, to me, body count doesn't matter.
Okay.
I've never asked my man what his body count was. He hasn't asked me. To me, that the past is the past.
Do you think he cares about your body count?
I don't think so. He hasn't asked me about it.
Okay. What about you?
I just feel like if we was doing the number shit, then a nigga had 30, and let's just say I had 5. Why the fuck would I go fuck with him? He got 30. Like, you just know he a zest ass person. That's just me. But have I ever asked somebody, oh, what's your body count? I never asked anybody that. Never.
Salim, go ahead.
I got a question. If you had a man, right?
Uh-huh.
Say you had a man and you were at a club or whatever, and a bunch of chicks were just hitting on him, would that turn you off or turn you on? Honestly, like would you be happy?
It depends on his reaction. Cause if you acting like a zest ass nigga, like you just love it, oh yeah.
I don't
Then
think
what the fuck is you doing? Like
I don't-
respect me, cause you wouldn't like if a whole bunch of men was hitting on me and I'm over here entertaining it. So it depends on his reaction.
I don't really think it's about his reaction.
All right. So AMD Creation says there are some men that don't care because the more experience she has, the more she can do things to a man woman under 10 body can't do. Yeah, and also the higher sex drive she's probably going to have. And for a lot of guys being I shouldn't say a lot, but for guys with a high sex drive, finding a girl with a high sex drive is important unless they want to get into some kind of sexless marriage. And so if she has a high body count, that shows she's probably a sexual person who enjoys sex, who enjoys her sexual freedom. And so some guys need a girl like that. They can't be with a virgin. Maybe, the idea appeals to them, but it's just not going to work out in a marriage. The marriage is going to collapse, or the relationship is going to collapse due to no sex. Okay? So if you have a high sex drive, you are probably going to need to find a sex positive person who has done a lot of sexual explorations. So, Passionate Rebellion says, it's one of the few times I agree with Fresh and Fit. My nightmare would be taking my girl somewhere and a bunch of guys there had slept with her. That sickening feeling feels like a biological response. I don't know. That's fair, Passionate Rebellion. It's not easy to, like, get over that feeling of, like, jealousy or ownership. I mean, people who are like polyamorous have to deal with this kind of thing like all the time. It's not necessarily like natural. Maybe it is natural, I don't know, but it's difficult to like overcome. So then Ambassa says, my non-leather life, would you find it unattractive to have to show a man how to please you? No, I wouldn't, actually. I think when I was younger, like I would have, but now that I'm older, I wouldn't find it unattractive at all because, like, to me, I almost feel like I'm doing this guy a favor by helping him, like, unleash his masculinity and helping him, like, become the man, like, I know he is, and I enjoy helping guys find that. So, it wouldn't be unattractive to me. I'd be, like, attracted to it because I like seeing that come out of guys. So, no, it wouldn't be unattractive. And I also know from having slept with a lot of guys that most men don't really have much fucking clue how to please a woman, and they're gonna need to be shown. So that's the truth. So yeah.
Action. I'm thinking, what is your thought process when there's chicks coming up to your man like, hey?
It depends on his reaction. Because if my nigga respect me, right? If your nigga respect you as a female and he's not entertaining it, you gonna feel like I'm that bitch. But if he over here and he's like, oh, all this, you feel me? Like it's a different vibe.
So if his reaction's like,
More true, you asked an interesting question, so I'm just going to answer that. So you said, why do you think a lot of men lack that? I feel like they're scared. They don't know how much is too much. They don't want to hurt people. And they've never, like, gotten that encouragement from a woman. They've never, like, had a sexually confident woman who is, like, sex positive and able to encourage that in them and kind of like teach them. I mean, in order to please a woman, like a woman basically has to teach you. So I think a lot of them just have been with girls who are kind of mired in their own sexual insecurity and sexual trauma and shame. and they need to find like a girl who actually likes sex, and enjoys masculinity, and is not threatened by it and is not scared by it. They're just holding back. They don't understand like how much much they need to turn up the volume. They're turning up to here, maybe, what needs to be turned up to here. Okay, that's my true thoughts.
Like,
You gotta
get the fuck
respect
away.
me. You gotta do your shit behind my back. Don't do that shit in my face.
So
I'm
what if
sorry.
he's like, all right, fuck you, like get out of my face in front of you?
Fuck me?
No, not you, but the
Fuck
girl.
him?
Yeah.
Oh, I'ma feel myself like, yeah, bitch, that's my nigga. Yeah.
But you'll like the fact that like women are approaching him though.
I'm not gonna. If he that nigga, he that nigga. If he.
So Marjorie says, like, do you think it's because they have been enmeshed or had a bad or lacking relationship with their mother? Personally, I don't. We don't know why. Like, no scientific studies have proved why, but I mean, it seems like it could possibly contribute to it if, like, their mother has kind of been feeding them, like, you know, your masculinity is bad and you're going to hurt a woman and all this kind of stuff. Like, I'm not saying it couldn't have some effect. It probably could, but I'm not saying that's the only reason. I mean, we get enough of that messaging just from like the media and society that it doesn't have to be their mother, but yeah.
He that nigga, he that nigga. You feel me? You get what I'm trying to say?
But what I'm trying to say is like it doesn't matter of his reaction. I'm talking about the fact that women are approaching your man in front of you because I've seen it before and it's happened. Like I know.
Okay, if your nigga is a celebrity, right? Bitches gonna come for your niggas either way.
But would that make you feel way better? The fact that women are
Yeah, I
approaching
got this nigga. This my nigga.
you? So that really proves.
All right, guys. Do you wanna? Do you want to join the live or should I just go?
Who was talking?
Fresh and Fit.
Oh.
All right. I'll just go, I guess. Unless you want to join, David.
Not really.
Okay. So do you mind? I'll just wrap it up and then.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I can just do it tomorrow morning.
All right, guys. I will go. Do both you and your boyfriend know each other's body count? Yeah. We know it. And he knows all my feelings about my body count, so. Oh, David.
Yeah.
They want to ask you one question. What's your take on pure women? Like
what women?
Like virgins only kind of thing? Like girls with a low body count?
Mm-hmm.
What's your take?
I have a lot of takes.
All right, so what is it?
For one thing, like, if it's really important to you in your religion, that's fine. I hope that you also are living up to those same standards that you're holding somebody else to. But if it's just a thing like where you feel like you want to be with somebody who hasn't been with a lot of guys, I really wonder why, I mean, something you might not have thought about is most women who are virgins, later than most people. They're virgins because they don't have very good, they don't have very high sex drives, So just understand that when you're seeking out somebody who has remained virginal, there's a good chance it's because she's not that interested in sex.
I don't want to.
Yeah. I think that there's a lot of fear behind it, like if a woman's been with one guy 100 times or 100 guys one time, like it's not like there's a different level of wear and tear on the undercarriage, right? So I think a lot of it is like maybe a subconscious, maybe conscious fear that like you won't be the absolute best that she's ever had or the biggest or whatever, you know. And I think you'd probably be better off, you know, facing those fears than just like shunting it off into a dark corner of your consciousness and looking for someone who hasn't been with a lot of guys. So those are my thoughts.
Great points, Dan.
Of course, everybody's different, and you know, any particular person. I'm speaking in very broad, general terms, and lots of people will say, "No, that doesn't apply to me. That doesn't apply to whoever," and you're probably right. You know, I don't know you or a woman you're talking about or whatever individually, so just speaking in really broad terms. I look like I'm like a saint or something.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, I have a question for you. But when you met me, were you kind of like threatened, like, oh, I'm not going to be able to, you know, take her home to my family and stuff because this girl's like a wild one.
no,
Like, she's not fit for marriage. She won't be able to pair bond.
no. So I didn't have any of those concerns.
And also, did you feel like, oh, I wish she was like, she had only slept with like one or two guys?
No, I was very happy that you had a healthy attitude towards sex. Let's put it that way.
All right, you're done? Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right. He left. Mr. Mauger says, do he want children with you?
Yeah.
He said yes. All right. So, yeah. Well, I got to give a big thank you to Passionate Rebellion for inspiring this live. Like I said, although I really don't like, you know, the incessant arguing and mansplaining by Myron. Like, he's obnoxious, okay? I respect the idea behind what he's trying to get across. I find it interesting. I definitely don't agree with it. But I think it's valid and fair for men to try to speak up and speak out about what matters to them when it comes to dating and try to like promote that to women and to try to get women to understand some of their blind spots. I think that's very good. That's more than fair. That's actually something I've tried to do like on my channel. Like, I mean, my audience isn't many women, but a lot of women have commented saying, "Oh, wow, like I agree. Thank you." Whatever. So, yeah, I thought that was very interesting. And I didn't finish it. I didn't like how disrespectful they are to their guests yet again. I didn't like how kind of they really like put the women down, don't give them a chance to talk. I mean, would the term punching down apply in the sense that, you know, he's talks about this for like thousands of hours for a living and he has guests come on and he treats them in a very ungenerous and, you know, inhospitable way. But besides that, I thought it was interesting discussion of ideas. I definitely thought there was some manipulation going on in his points. It's almost like at the same time he's trying to address these issues, he's trying to also scare women into kowtowing to his position and make it easier for him to get women. Hopefully women see through that part and keep doing what they think is best anyway. But, you know, I definitely noticed that with like women's advice to men as well, a lot of times. Yeah, there's a lot of deception that goes on. So, yeah, that was definitely very interesting. And thanks for sticking around. I will read some of your comments as well just before I go. So, Thomas says, good stream. Go enjoy the rest of the night with the man. All right, Thomas, thank you. Sam Walsart, that guy has big security vibe. I like that. Alexander says, so he basically said, I'll roll the dice and make her behave with my skills. If she didn't, well, at least I had a fun time. I'm not sure what that's referring to. Then Sam Walsart says, was with someone who had experience. Her experience was something strange and exciting to me. The problem was the last guy, she still wasn't over, and she refused to make up her damn mind, so he stopped. That's annoying. Nani's, oh, okay. Aqua Water says, you shouldn't judge Fresh and Fit. You know nothing. LMAO. Okay, well, I thought he gave a pretty fair appraisal, but that's annoying. I'll just block you. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you again to Passionate Rebellion. And thank you again thank you so much, Victor. I enjoyed your comments. And Alexander says, I feel your boyfriend wouldn't like open relationships. It's complicated. I'd say he'd probably like it. All right, bye guys.